Starting the show off muted. That's the way you want to do it. I was going on just saying how I like that song. I hope you're all doing well. I started off very good on mute. That's how you want to start the evening. Speaking of starting the evening, I see we already got some people in the chat. How are y'all feeling tonight? You know, no games tomorrow. No games on Sunday. It seems like, what are we going to do this weekend, y'all? Let's figure it out tonight, tomorrow morning, whenever you're tuning in. Big up yourself. Big up everybody. Alan Bennett, probably not awake for this. Big up yourself, sir. Alexander Steak in the house. And we got James Joris fighting him back with some vegetables. What the fuck? Oh, shit. Colin, you're back there clicking comments. I didn't even know you were back there. How you doing?
Whoa, I did not realize I actually clicked it. I keep forgetting I have the power, man.
Yeah, man. You got the power on this show.
That's because said James Joris said vegetables, and I was like, oh, did he? Let me look.
Yeah, so you're already off to a good start. I was on mute. Colin's pulling up comments before I've even read them, so that's great. We're off to a good start. How was your day?
Bro, it was a day, I went to work. My boss wasn't there. So it was really sick, actually.
Okay.
So you love it when the boss is away, the kids will play.
That is very true. Speaking of kids playing, my Hotspur, what's up? How you doing, Leo, in the house?
I feel like I got a button all the way up for this show because it's a classy show,
No, we're definitely at least one or two buttons down kind of a show. We're not a.
I don't know. Where's your
button? A button up. I don't got no buttons. I ain't rocking no buttons. Catch me with no buttons.
You ain't gonna catch me with no buttons.
Hey, Jesse Dyer, love from Talk Football. I believe I was on with a mate of yours on Big Six Bants earlier today, so big ups.
Like they mate?
No, like English term mate, like for friend, you silly, dirty-minded.
Being a big old butthead.
You're being an American over there. Everyone's saying what's up to each other. I love it. James George asking the question that really I'm going to be asking most this evening. But honestly, there's a lot of questions.
Try to grow some hair on this.
I think I know what you mean by that, sir. Jesse Dyer, UFC, La Liga, Bundesliga. I'm also going to throw MLS if you want to peep them. I know.
If you want to make some money, throw 10 on Nashville.
You don't even rock Nashville. You're telling me to drop a 10.
Nashville's my squad, bro.
I mean, to be fair, they've been balling lately. This is not an MLS show, but they've been balling. Serie A fixtures are mad. I need to look that up. We'll look that up tonight. We'll look up some other goings on.
Sorry.
Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I was so excited for the City match, bro. I put 60 American dollars on Tottenham to win. 13 on the tie to cover my money. So as long as we tie, I don't lose any money. But we're gonna win, bro.
Yeah.
You know what the return is for $60?
No clue, my friend. I don't gamble.
$3.50.
I like 50 Cent. He's a cool rapper.
He got shot 9 times.
He got shot 9 times and survived, my friend. Josh MUFC from Talk Football says, you guys better beat City. Their tyranny must come to an end. You're very much right. We are, what do they call it? The bogey team? Is that what they call it over the pond? We, Tottenham Hotspur, have their number ever since Pep Guardiola's coined us the Harry Kane team. So big up yourself. Big ups everybody. I see it's cool seeing some new names in the chat. How are we all doing? United dominating big game fixtures at the moment. I mean, they beat Liverpool, they beat Arsenal, but I don't count Arsenal as a big game fixture. I know most football people would say they are.
My buddy is getting married on the day of the North London Derby. So I have a feeling Spurs are going to pull that one out. They can't lose.
Bro, that's at 5:30 my time. It's at 5:30 a.m. that they put that North London Derby. That's some bullshit. Intaj, what's up? How you doing? Says, what up, Jacob? Feeling sad, no matches. I feel that. I feel it too. Honestly, there's a poll, and if you've participated in the polls, Intaj, I'm sure you have. Usually I try to make them fun, but I didn't want to make no like sad moisture answers because I think I'm going to leave it to everyone else to talk about, the Queen and what that means for their country because I'm the least educated. I'm the least credible source to listen to when it comes to any of that. I'm just strictly going to talk about what I heard in regards to Tottenham Hotspur and that whole matter. Just full disclaimer. Colin, I don't know if I told you this, but I'm trying to tell people before they come on the show, if they want to come on the show. The only thing we're not going to talk about is the Queen and all that because everyone's got their own opinions. That's not the country I live in. I'm not going to speak on royalty like that. So that's just that. Jesse Dyer. Let's see. I just don't know what to do with myself. Football's everything. That is correct. We do have. But see, the thing is, there's the Premier League, and then you got all the other lower tier leagues.
Aren't they suspended as well?
No, they're other countries, so they're not going to suspend because the Queen of some other country.
Oh, I guess. I guess I was thinking like Championship, League 1, League 2.
Those all canceled. Everything in England as far as football.
So
to
we
my
don't get to
understanding,
watch our Great Dane. We don't get to watch.
Nope. They're all done. No Romero pocketing Holland just yet. Keyword there, steak, just yet.
Yes, steak.
I'm going to catch up on these comments real quick. I'm behind. What's up, Ma? Hi, Hotspur. Annie, brother. Yes, that's who I was on with. Ani, he came on for such a short amount of time, but we got to chatting in the back, and I didn't actually get to read his name, so my apologies. But he plugged your channel. I subbed you guys. I saw you sub back, so big up. That's what this community is about. That's what this community is about. And this is a good time to say, go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe. All right, we're like 7 subscribers short of 300.
And
that's a good movie. And that's a good movie, bro.
Do you want to hear a story? Do you have time for like a 1 minute last story?
In 1 second, I did say I was going to catch up on these comments, and I have yet to do that. So once I do that, what's the story about? And see, now you're piquing my interest. You know how I work, Colin. You're manipulating me like the squirrel with an acorn. Oh, it's about that? I got a good side story about that as well.
Okay, it's very much a side story. Oh my god, I got my money returned to me on my freaking...
Inthaj wants to know who's your bookie.
Bet MGM.
Bet MGM? Oh, okay. 50 Cent candy shop might be where I'll go. Hey, James George, you be careful with that candy shop. You be careful with that candy shop now.
What's up?
Don't get yourself mixed up, twisted up. You know what I'm saying?
You can be lost without the sauce, but you can also be lost in the sauce. So don't get lost in the sauce.
Bro, are you clicking the comments?
No.
Why do the comments keep disappearing? Now I lost where I'm at. James George. Sorry, I was sending an invitation to Kieran, and I think Kieran's going to join us. So big ups him. Where was I?
I gotta go.
Oh, because Kieran's coming. Oh, there goes the neighborhood. Champions will be on. That's why I asked the question about Lisbon. I will talk about it. There's plenty of time. I'm in no rush. Jesse Dyer from Football Talk says, yeah, did a stream on United Kingdom situation earlier. This isn't our business. It's not our job to tell people how to feel. We stay out of it. That's exactly, to me, like, I'm born in America. I've never had a king or a queen unless I'm playing chess.
You look American.
Actually, my friend. I don't know what that was. I was trying to do something between Italian and Russian.
It was like Italian, a little bit of everything.
It's too early to be busting those out.
From every language.
No, it's too early to be busting those out. Thank God it's Friday. Good evening, United Spurs of America. Big up yourself, IVX Romans. How you doing, my friend? Big up. You've been supporting since you've subscribed, and I think that's really cool of you.
You're a good person, yeah.
I really value you for doing that.
Oh,
because if you subscribe and you like, that's one thing. But if you subscribe and you like and you return, that's a whole nother thing.
So that means for me, you don't have a boner, a B word.
You just said it, and then you said a B word.
Prove it.
I'm not going to prove. I can't prove it. I will not prove it. James George, Well, we'll say the NFL is on this weekend. That is correct. But as far as tomorrow, my friend, we got to figure out what the hell we're all doing. That's
I'm gonna go to work.
No. Shh, don't. That's for later. That's for later. You're going to work?
I have to.
No, you don't. I mean, well, that's another subject for another day. Whether you should or should not go to work.
8 to
But
noon.
I don't like it.
Hey,
I
my
don't like
300. Do I have time for my 300 story?
Did I catch up on comments?
No.
I'm creating a little banner right now, so I was just.
Everyone here, this is actually the pre-show. You're watching the pre-show.
What's the pre-show?
It's where you make the banners and you get ready.
Oh yeah, this is the part where you get ready for the show. I didn't do that because my son didn't go to sleep till 8:30. Then Daddy got to take a walk and say good night to the stars.
I haven't done that yet today.
Josh MUFC says dropped a like, shared and subbed, supporting all up and comers. Big love from Australia. Australia.
Coming?
Big up and comers, not coming.
I'm a comer.
No, you're keep it in your pants for just 15 more minutes before, because if you think about it, the algorithm is going to send people here, and if we start talking about what's in our pants too soon, they're going to run away, Colin. What are you doing with your hands there, sir? I see you doing something with your hands.
I'm showing them. It's like a handshake. You ever been with a girl? 13. I watched a movie.
I feel like
handshake, and you gotta like.
No, hands up.
Sir.
So for people who are new here, who have never tuned in, this is not your typical United Spurs of America show. This is Pop Up with Jacob, hosted here on the United Spurs of America channel. I'm one half of United Spurs of America. My co-host Michael, he's not here tonight. You're the plate that the pancakes are on. So you hold up the pancakes and the syrup, my friend.
I'm actually the waiter holding it.
No, you're not. You're the plate. The plate is more important to me than the waiter.
Oh, dang.
The waiter just brings you the plate. The plate holds it all up, holds it together, make sure.
What color plate?
Typically white, because I want to see the damage before and after.
I'm white in your dreams. Okay.
Josh, big up yourself. Can't wait to tune into one of your channels. He says big love from Australia. Big love your way. Thanks for sending it our way. Thank you for being here as well. Alexander, this is steak, not Sparta. Steak is clear. Pick up yourself, steak.
Pick up, dude.
You were at the Tottenham versus Marseille game. You don't
Did you
Marseille.
see Joey Barton there being all fat and dumb? Hey, have you noticed him?
Hang on once. Just hang on. And Kyrian, Papa.
I'm digging that new intro music, man. That's awesome.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't get an intro, and
that's because you came on clicking comments, so I had to pull you up before you kept clicking comments. But that's because you're the El Capitano. You're like,
I'll click another one.
Don't click it. I'm gonna lose my spot. I'm already losing my spot.
I realized. I actually think I did do it earlier.
I know you did, because there's only two of us here, my friend, who can do it, and it wasn't me.
There's a button that says hide current comment. I clicked it.
That's okay, my friend. We all slip of the finger sometimes. Kyrian, how are you feeling this evening? Let's talk to Kyrian for a second.
No,
how are you? He said he's leaving because you were going to show up on the. You were popping up with Jacob tonight, and we appreciate you for doing that.
We do, but I also was going to leave.
Aw, I'm hurt, Colin.
It's because he has such a nice camera, and I didn't want to feel bad about my camera.
Well, the tone is like super yellow right now, so I gotta fix that. But
you look pretty good. I like the you're in focus, background's out of focus. It just looks nice. It looks professional, dude. Like you got it going on.
Thanks.
Alexander Hilton went to the Tottenham Marseille game. Kyrian, did you go to the Tottenham Marseille game?
No, I did not. No.
Did you watch?
What was the atmosphere like for you at the stands when you were sitting there in the south stand?
Yeah, I
And
didn't
you're
catch
singing and y'all weren't holding up the fucking tifo. How did you feel?
I did not catch the flight to London, and part of the reason why is because I have COVID-19, unfortunately. So
Oh no.
I've been dealing
Do
with
you
that.
really?
Mostly better now,
So
but
you've had to like lay off the cocaine and the other stuff you do.
Colin.
yeah, just
Like,
chilling, lots of fluids and rest and all that. It
they,
wasn't
they
too
go,
bad.
dude. Is it mostly like
So
here? Like
I
you got like the coughs and the that type
no,
of thing?
I had mostly a fever and body aches. Where body aches, headache were the
Did
worst
you poop a
parts.
lot?
Yeah. So, no, really not too much. No, it was just mostly just being
Achy,
really
grossing.
tired, just laying down like in the whole body, just aching and being sore. Yeah, but that's
Well,
most
I'm glad
that's
you're getting better,
pretty
man.
much over now, thankfully. So
That's very good to hear. My co-host actually, he got it for the first time as well. Big up Tyler Vestal says, I'm here commenting. Love you, Jay. Have a great broadcast. He's over there on Twitch. If y'all are some Twitchers, some Tweetchers, whatever they're called. Colin, I don't know what they're called. Do you Twitch?
No, dude. I only when like I'm in class and the teacher wakes me up and I'm like, push then.
That Vestal over on Twitch, he plays video games and talks about it and shit. So if you're into that kind of stuff, go check him out. Big up Tyler Vestal.
Big up,
Everyone's
Tyler.
saying hello.
big up Leo, big up.
Let's see, they got college football going
Leo.
on. Alexander hitting Jacob to start his OnlyFans. No, sir. Only feats, not OnlyFans. Only feats. That's where I show my.
Joris. We got some Joris action in the
Oh
comments.
yeah. Speaking of, we just got a free
Big up,
flash of some
Jesse. Thank you.
toesies.
Appreciate the
Eugene in the
well wishes.
house.
Eugene, my man.
Hi everyone, big up. Speaking
Sorry
of,
that you have to go to work in like a
yeah, that's actually a good segue into. I'm gonna just drop this there and
I
put
never
that.
got to tell my story about 300, the movie.
I'm about to come to that. I'm just actually still. We're like 4 comments away from catching up. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything from anybody who decided to pop up. Feel free to like and sub to Colin at Talking Ball. Funniest name for a stream, I must say.
Dude, James Joris, thank you, man. Not many people seem to like get it that it's actually a joke. So thank you. You're a good person. Just because like
The name is what attracted me, Colin. I can't lie.
Thank you so much.
They're
And
saying
then Tommy,
hello.
Then Tommy stole it. With Tommy Talks Ball. Thief.
We had someone pop up in the back and then they dipped off. Jesse says, "Get better, Kieran." Had the same symptoms.
Yeah, appreciate
Hi,
that.
Leo. Just woken up, getting ready for work.
Oh.
Eugene, I went ahead and I popped the link in the chat. I'm gonna pin it to the top for a little bit.
Dude,
let
don't
people
let
know.
Hey, breath in here.
Hmm?
Don't let. Is it just? Are you drinking water, bub?
That is all I drink. I don't consume alcohol,
God, you're
my friend.
responsible. I mean,
I don't
you drink
consume alcohol because it's bad for you.
lemonade? You drink like lemonade or soda.
Steak.
I didn't get an intro.
And steak.
Steak.
And
Steak.
steak.
You got an intro. bub.
Steamer.
Steak.
All right,
Steamer.
hang on. Hang on.
Oh my god, I'm so happy.
With Colin. All right. I hope everyone's happy. Everyone's got an intro thus far. If you want to tune in, if you want to pop up with Jacob on the panel, you can do that. The link is in the chat. I believe I've pinned it for those of you who come later. Big up yourself, Colin. I think you're on mute, so no one hears you. You're dancing.
I've been saying a lot. I've been saying a lot.
Yeah, you're muted the whole time, my friend.
Wow. Okay, well, I was going to say, you think you pinned it or you know you pinned it?
I looked. I've confirmed it's pinned. Wikipedia says, "Come on, Jacob. No alcohol hurts my feelings." It's just me, my friend. It's just
I had 4 shots before.
It's. You don't say.
I thought that was a Dharma sweat you were drinking.
It's actually 50-50. you do the combo, and you mix it up just right. You don't let it set for too long because obviously oil and water separate over
Where
time.
does the testosterone go? Right to the top?
Hmm?
All of this testosterone that's in the sweat, does it just rise to the top like cream rises to the top?
I don't understand.
You said it was Adama sweat you were drinking. I asked about the testosterone that the Adama sweat
I don't
must.
think you leak testosterone through sweat. I don't think
You don't
that
think
is
Adama does?
Huh?
Have you
I
seen
don't,
that guy?
I don't know. Anyway, moving along, Wikipedia. I'm no hurt feelings intended. Um, says no alcohol hurts my feelings. I did not want to hurt your feelings, not one bit, my friend. It's just not for me. Doesn't agree with my body. Lukeman will join later. He's on his way to work. Right, we've caught up. Colin, you've kind of been taking the floor at will, but I'm going to give you the floor now to tell that 300 story.
Oh, thanks. Okay, so this is back. You're gonna have to think back. 2005. Can you think back that far? Anyone here? Maybe not. Maybe we're dealing with like
Yeah.
a young crowd. But
I remember
Okay, so-
2005, yes.
So DVDs were being burned, downloaded. Anyway,
LimeWire.
300. Yes, and 300 was due to come out, and my buddy got a copy on DVD from this old man in our town that we called aptly the pirate. He lets me borrow it. Then and I watch it, and it's great. I mean, it was a good copy. Everything was great. Then at like 4 in the morning one night, I hear like a tapping on my window. It's like a kid. I'm in like 9th grade. I hear like a tapping on my window. You can't understand how scary that is. I see a figure outside. So I run outside in my boxers, just like it's snowy. I'm not wearing any clothes. Run outside. There's a car running beside my house. I open the door to the car. There's a person in the passenger seat, and I just go, "Who are you?" And my friend comes around the corner that gave me the movie in the first place, completely drunk in high school, and was like, "Hey man, can we have 300 the movie?" I don't know, but I guess the moral of the story is it's such a good movie that you will drunkenly knock on people's windows to get it. Like, it is a good film. Would you agree?
I would agree for sure.
Would you do what he did?
My biggest story that I have in regards to that movie has to do with the main character, Gerard Butler. I don't believe my wife is watching right now. If she is, I'm sorry, my love, but
Steak.
she has a friend who used to live in LA. Apparently, this man is well endowed and knows how to use what he got. Apparently, this man is she sent my wife a picture of her and Mr. Gerard Butler cozied up like they had just finished a rendezvous of sorts. You know, like a "this is
No way.
Sparta." Kicked her
Was she
on the bed and
real?
everything.
Anywhere? Yeah, I was
Gerard
gonna say.
Butler?
Gerard Butler.
Butler.
Gerard Butler.
Butler.
You know he's like Scottish or
Grovesy.
something. He's
Grovesy.
Scottish. Grovesy. Oh, Grovesy, if he tunes in.
Where is
That'll
Grove?
make my night. I
Hey,
love me some Grovesy.
stay
Jesse
safe.
died. This is the most more American horror. I think they were talking about your story there, Colin.
It was actually really scary. I was really scared. I didn't convey it very well, but God, I was actually terrified. Who knocks on someone's window? That's creep shit.
I mean, bro, there's some weird stuff that's happened with this. We can get into it, but there's a few things I want to talk about first for the people who are tuning in for just a little bit of football talk. Before we get into that, Mile High Hotspur, 3 away from 300, the movie we were just referencing, which is relevant, Colin. So if I had a point system, you're going to get at least 1 point for that. Come on, guys, let's get US of A to the big 3. We are 2 away from the big 3, so we can make it happen. What usually happens is you'll get some subs and then you'll lose some subs. So I feel like we're going to...
Here's the thing. I'll get you to 300 tonight.
I don't... See, here's the thing is I would like to get the subscribers genuinely, not like sock accounts or like myself.
No,
like I
here's what
could
we're
make
gonna
a
do.
couple
We're gonna-
Google accounts and sub, and
We're
but
just
that's
gonna
just
be
not that's not the
we're
point
just
of
gonna
this.
be some other streamers, and we're gonna say, look, we're gonna put this still image up, and we're not gonna change it until Jacob gets to 300 followers. just throw up an overlay of like John Terry and say until you get to 300 subs, all we're doing is showing John Terry.
Or this man instead.
Which man?
You know,
You know, I was hoping he was going to get that Chelsea job and let them all know that he's going to make them proud. That was
I've
going to be a
watched-
fun little intro video.
it sucks. I had to go from
Have you-
loving Graham Potter to hating him.
Have you guys ever
To be fair,
seen
that's the North London derby he won.
James Joris, I believe he's saying, no wonder the ladies call me Gerard. Gerard Joris. Gerard Joris. Gerard Butler.
Joris,
Have you guys
come
ever
in here,
seen
you-
the
That's right, Jesse Dyer, authentic subs. If you know, you definitely know. Bentancur, our best midfielder. What is his ceiling? It's actually a good question. I'm going to disagree with you, though. Bentancur is not
think he is
our best midfielder.
It's
He's not our
Bissouma.
best midfielder for the reason of many reasons. And our best midfielder since he's been wearing the lily white is Pierre-Emile Højbjerg.
Yes.
The stats back it up. My eyes back it up. I've actually been getting very frustrated with Bentancur lately.
Yeah.
He's been suffering a little bit of winkitis, if you will, a little bit of that.
Hey,
I'm scared on the ball. I'm gonna back pass kind
you
of
don't
thing.
say that. You don't say that, man.
A winkitis, a winkaleptus,
Don't say that about a player.
a winkle dinkle.
That's like calling somebody a slur.
Week 19.
Don't.
Does
Also-
anyone believe that Bentancur is our best midfielder
No.
from this panel?
Whenever I watched him, he like keeps on losing the ball whenever he's like pressed.
No, he's our most press-resistant progressive midfielder without Bissouma playing. I don't know about him yet. Jerry
Yeah, I
Salah.
was gonna say. I think in terms of ability to be press resistant and progressive, I think Basuma has
Yeah.
the most
The steak
ability
man.
of anybody. But in terms of like just performance and stats, it's been Højbjerg. He's been the best midfielder. He has the most goals and
Yeah, but
assists.
sometimes stats
No.
look the way they do because the player you're playing in midfield with allows you to get those. You know,
Well, that's
I
the
don't know.
thing
I
is that Højbjerg mainly is the kind of guy who does the dirty work, who does the pressing, who does
How about
the
Dombele?
the tracking back and all of that. But despite mainly focusing on those areas of his game, he's still, out of all the midfielders we have, he's still contributed the most
I
in the
guess
attacking sense. It's
I
not
mean, I
enough,
agree.
but
Yeah.
it's still the best performance of everybody we've had. But to be fair, he's also played way more games than all of our other midfielders. Way more games.
I think this is a
every
good
game the
point
last
that.
2 seasons.
Sorry, Karen. I think this is a good point that Wikipedia brings up that maybe Bentancur has the higher ceiling than the Viking,
Yeah.
but Højbjerg has been performing the best. I agree with that. I
Aren't
really
they,
thought
like,
when
the
we,
same
I really,
age? Aren't they like the same age?
Wikipedia, what are you drinking tonight, bud?
I don't know.
To be fair, I think both Basuma and Skip have higher ceilings than both Bentancur and Højbjerg. I think
Skip's
I
gonna be a
think
role
those
player.
two, their
right-
potential
playing right at the
is
top
like
of the game.
sky high.
See,
I-
and
I
I think
think-
Bentancur is playing at the top of his game. I don't think there's much more room to grow for him.
I feel like he might have been playing at the top of his game when he came into Spurs, but this season I don't know if he is. Honestly, I think he's underperforming. Actually, I think he could do better, but I do agree, Colin, that like I don't think his ceiling is like way more than what we've seen so far. I mean he's he's a young player, a younger player. He's still like what 24. So there's room for more improvement and growth as well,
Who knows?
and maturity. But I don't
here's the
think
thing that
I don't think he has huge ceiling that he's far away from yet.
when I look at the names on this midfield list, to me, there's one name that if I take away like performances under Antonio Conte or longevity of how long they've been with us, etc. There's a few things that stick out to me when it comes to
Yeah,
Bissouma, I understand. He's the best physical specimen, in my opinion. Bissouma is. I think that he offers the most at that number 6 role, but he can be creative if he's allowed to be. So I'm really curious to see going forward kind of what our what our best midfielding pair, because the wet splam game, it's not a great test of Bissouma because he got the early yellow. He was playing cautious the rest of the game. You didn't get to see a lot of the things that makes him as good as he is, quite frankly. We also, real quick, popping up with Jacob, brand new pop up, never before popped up on the pop up. So let's give him a warm. With Jesse, how are we doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, boys. That is a wonderful intro, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Hey,
Thank
Jesse,
you.
your setup looks nice, my guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'll pull you up again.
You have a wrap in there?
Yeah, we got the Shure SM7B. Yeah, we're doing all right.
Yeah, it's a classic mic. You ever?
Oh,
you
I
ever
think that's the
throw
same
in
one
any
I
raps
have.
in there?
What was that?
You have a wrap in there?
No, it's a radio mic, bro. Like
Right.
it's great for everything except for rapping. To be honest.
I have the Shure MV7.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the one.
Well, some people go out of their way to buy mics that are worth like $2,000. It's like this thing's worth $350. I mean, it's expensive, but if you can afford it, do it. So
No, you sound great, my friend.
Thank
Welcome onto the channel. Welcome onto the show. First timer popping up with Jacob, so we like to see it. There's a few things I want to run through, and then I'm going to ask you a question real quick. I just put up the ticker at the bottom. That is a new link. If you want to become a supporter of this channel, patreon.com/United Spurs of America. Currently
I wanted
in the
to-
Soggy Undies Club. Hang on, Colin. Currently in the Soggy Undies Club, we got the founder of it, Mr. Alan 10-inch Sibley. Then we have the 10-inch Club with Queen Ellie of Tottenham Till I Die, Leo COYS 1882, Goguma, and newly C. Shearman. He signed up the other night. You can too. And Faraz as well. Official sponsors club is James George, J. Co., Mile High Hotspur, Scott M. The newest tier, the cheapest tier is $1. The Lovers Lane Club. We got 3 Spurs, C Cubed, and the Dissipating Anger Club members, Jaw Dank and Alex Wood. So big ups to everybody with on that list, everybody who just even listened to me while I talked about that list. So big up yourself. Colin, what were you about to say, my friend?
Oh, I'll say it later. It's gotta come organic.
Fair enough.
Oh,
Jesse,
yeah.
I saw you holding up something, and I'm going to ask you to hold it up one more time, my friend.
I'm gonna barf.
Oh, no, the Red Devils.
we did a favor. So we've done a favor to
You did. I'm very happy with what you did most recently, I believe. Was that the last Premier League game?
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Bro, I haven't been paying any attention to y'all. Like, who's scoring goals for United this season?
Dude,
Rashford?
Here's the deal, dude. It's a crapshoot. It's Rashford right now. Cristiano's not going to do a damn.
Rashford's playing as your sole striker, like one up top. Rashford.
Tony's going to be injured. We're a mess. But what I will say,
Tony's gonna be injured. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no.
Anthony.
Tony Martial's injured.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Anthony
Martial.
came in, had a good.
I was thinking Ivan Tony, and I was like, no way. Shut up.
Yeah, no, of course not. And then obviously Anthony came in, scored that goal against Arsenal, played really poorly the other night. Cristiano not worth anything at this point. Anthony Alenga never going to be good enough. Who's going to score our goals? I think the thing that a lot of people forget about United is that we do have a team riddled of goals. Like it's riddled with goals. Bruno
Yeah,
Fernandes,
Ericsson that can hit him from distance, like you said. Bruno, yeah.
I mean, you guys know more about Ericsson than I do. But all I know is he's been our best player this season. I don't know where that came from. I'm not going to take the piss.
He's a
That was
total.
the point. But he's been our best player. Then you obviously have your Brunos. Rashford can do what he does. Sancho,
Yeah, Fred as well.
even Fred put in excuse my language. Put in 5 last season. Like it's there. Like the goals are there. But no. Like honestly, I came on here because I think that there's Tottenham has been really good this season, and I want to get into that. I'm gonna have to run here in like literally 5 seconds for another 5 minutes. So if we can get back to this, that'd be awesome. But yeah,
You had me stunned. I was
I'm sorry.
honestly trying to catch up on these comments, and I was more surprised when I watched the United Real Sociedad. Is that who y'all lost to? 1-0.
Yeah.
Was
Lost-
it Sociedad?
Did you guys see the pen shout? What do you guys think about that? If you have seen it,
I think it's one of those calls where if it goes against you, you hate it. If it goes for you, you love it. And those are bound to happen in every. Honestly, UEFA, I thought on Champions League and Europa League, I didn't watch conference, but I thought from what I saw, the reffing was pretty atrocious. Maybe I'm just getting used to Premier League reffing, but I thought the UEFA reffing was pretty bad.
All refs have
Personally.
been terrible.
I mean, it was bad in our game, right? Like the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kept
He
on
was
blowing the
getting
whistle every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And then,
It
yeah,
was
it
pretty-
just seemed. Sometimes I'm of the mindset, just let them play. Before Jesse, you said you got to go. There's a question that I have for everybody, and I want you to answer it since you said you got to bounce real quick, and then I'll ask everybody else. What are we doing tomorrow? What I mean, did United play? Were they scheduled to play tomorrow or on Sunday? Sunday, right? Because Europa.
yeah, because of Europa. But honestly, UFC, a little bit of La Liga, if you can. There's no good fixtures. Even in other leagues, there's no good fixtures this weekend.
Mhm.
So it's going to be rough. By the way, I'll only be gone for like 30 seconds, but so I can answer the rest of that. But
Oh, okay. I guess I misunderstood what you meant. I thought you said you had to bounce.
no, I was just proclaiming I have a DoorDash on the way. Was my point. So,
Well, before you answer anything else, what did you order? I need to know what you're eating, my friend, because I had goulash for dinner tonight.
where do you guys all live? Real quick,
What?
just give me a city or like a state. Just give me a city.
Evansville,
Virginia.
I'm in El Paso, Texas. Grew up in Dallas.
So you're
but-
probably the closest to it. Okay. So I grew up in California. I live in Idaho now. In Boise.
Steak land.
No, Potato Land.
I went. No, I didn't go for steak. I went for Mexican, and it's gonna be terrible because it's always terrible. The further you move away from, like Miami,
Yeah, Mexican food in
or-
Idaho. Ugh, that can't be good.
this
There's no way it's good.
Unless
That's
You
like
have an
going
authentic
to a Chinese
Hispanic
restaurant
family
in,
that-
like Kansas.
Oh, and Jacob, I'm sure you do. I'm sure they moved there and decided to,
Hey, we do our best, man. Yeah, exactly. Del Taco in the chat. We Taco Bell, whatever you want. Yeah, man. It's
Del
not.
Taco.
It's not that. We try to get as close as we can to home, but growing up in California, nothing hits the same way. So yeah, I don't know. I'll be back in literally 2 minutes. I'm sorry, boys. I didn't mean to do this to you.
No, don't worry about it, man. This is Pop Up with Jacob. You can pop in, pop out, do whatever you
Oh,
need to do.
yeah.
Wilton McDonald was cracking my friend. Whatever you do not invite any Archhole supporters on the show. Fair play. I met a really cool guy named Casey today. He's an Arsenal supporter, unfortunately. So like instantly, when you start vibing with someone, you're like, man, this guy's kind of cool. And then it's like, oh yeah, and he supports Arsenal. It's just like, all right, bet. So like, it is what it is. But he was a cool guy for what it's worth. Wikipedia, that pen was soft. Too much interruption from ref. Hey, we're talking. Did I catch up to comments? Hell yeah. Hopefully there was chilies on that goulash. Of course. Are you talking about jalapeno chilies? I put chili pepper in there, personally. Taco John's. See, Sherman's part of the 10-inch club. Colin, what are you doing tomorrow? No Tottenham.
Great question. We'll work from 8 to noon. And then
4 hours ain't too bad.
no, I can handle it. It's nothing. And then after that, I don't know, probably crank it down. No, I'm just kidding. It'll be a boring day. I'll try to catch some other leagues. Maybe play, some small parlay bets.
MLS is tomorrow, Kieran
Yeah, that's
and
what I was
Colin.
gonna say.
That
Come on, you American boys. Support your country.
MLS matches.
Well, yeah,
What's that?
You know I do, Jacob. You know I love some MLS.
Yeah.
So
I know you'll
watching
watch
some
some.
MLS.
I'm surprised you
I'll
haven't
be
called me out for
watching some
my
college
my
football,
pride
probably.
top. Kieran, you always talk shit about when I'm repping Austin.
Yeah, but
Austin FC.
I didn't want to talk shit though because I actually like that shirt. That shirt looks really nice. So I didn't want to call attention to it, because I mean, yeah,
It's like
your
it
club
was for
sucks,
Pride
but
Month.
like that is a cool shirt. I really like it.
Second in the West, my friend. Second in the West. They do not suck.
See, that's
What
the
is
thing.
Colin doing?
And that's the thing. I can't even talk shit right now because
Hand check,
my
Colin.
team is literally the worst team in MLS. So I can't say anything. Like we're dog shit.
Who you DC?
Yeah, DC United.
But you got Benteke and Wayne
What
Rooney
happened-
as your manager.
What happened
Yeah,
to
well, I
Freddie?
mean-
Benteke.
Yeah, we just signed Christian Benteke. Yeah, he's
Well,
playing.
And
Well,
Wayne Rooney's your
class.
manager.
World class forward.
So you saw Freddie Adin, he's the best player. He's a new
To be fair, it'll
Freddie
destroy
Adin.
the MLS. He'll probably
Colin,
destroy the MLS.
You're stuck like 15 years ago, man.
man.
Yeah.
Freddie Adin's 16. He's blown up. He's in the MLS.
No, Freddie Adu is like 40 years old now.
Oh no.
Time has passed you by, my friend.
What about Landon Donovan? Is he still running the show?
Yeah.
Right.
Um.
Peter Crouch at Tottenham.
So yeah. I mean, we're terrible, but I'll still watch some MLS, some college football. Great
College
American
football is the
tradition
only
there.
football. I honestly, I like college sports so much more than like pro sports.
I mean, I like the NFL too. Like our match probably would have been Sunday, but instead of Tottenham Sunday, I'll probably just be watching my Jags. So,
Your
wait,
Jags
how'd you
is that
become
a Jacksonville
Jags?
Jaguars reference?
yeah,
When
yeah,
did you
because
become a Jags fan?
Jacksonville,
Oh.
because I used to Jacksonville.
Oh, okay.
I was born in Florida, and Jacksonville's where we lived for a while when I was a kid, and I used to
Yeah.
live like 2 miles from the Jag Stadium. So
Funny story. I actually used to rep Jacksonville Jaguars pretty hard. I was a Mark Brunell fan. If you remember Mark Brunell.
Oh, I remember him for sure. I mean, he was the quarterback. Jags became a team, and then he was up here playing for Washington. So like people around here know him too. So yeah.
I just wanted to preview a little bit about what we'll be talking about after this, so you can think about your next questions, and then Kieran and Alex, I'm gonna get you both to answer. What are we doing tomorrow? But first, I hope you attended the funeral. I know Antonio Conte did.
Do you know that? Do you know the handshake he did with Conte? That was his last one.
No, he shook hands with all the other people who mopped the floor with him before they kicked him out.
Did he?
I just love
Yeah.
that they lost to Dynamo Zagreb as well.
Yeah,
I
fucking
mean, it's not
revenge.
it's it's
I
not
do
as
hate.
good because they're not getting knocked out of the competition by them. Like
Well, they
we did.
could.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. C.
They could,
Sherman.
yeah,
No,
that's
he
true.
won't destroy the MLS in reference to Benteke. MLS
Why not?
isn't
No, he
absolutely.
won't.
Alex, listen. MLS isn't absolutely terrible anymore. Bale isn't even killing the MLS. Bale came in, scored 2 goals, and has been quiet since.
He's hardly
Gareth Bale.
played, right? Hasn't he been?
Yeah,
like-
but when they start him, he doesn't do much. He's only
Yeah.
done anything in his substitution
Oh
appearance.
yeah, he's there for the money.
Well, part of the problem.
And he's trying to stay
part
fit
of the
for
thing
World Cup.
Part of the thing people don't realize about MLS, MLS is still a total bush league, man. Like the fouls that you can get away with in this league, you can't get away with in any European league. I mean, guys get absolutely clobbered in MLS all the time.
Yeah,
It just,
it's a very rough league.
it's very, very rough. It's
Yeah.
Nice.
Reckless
probably-
abandon.
I'd probably say you're on the same level as the Scottish League or somewhere like that.
in terms of
Wikipedia.
quality.
Wikipedia
Yeah.
Nashville. It's a good team.
Actually, I don't know. I think some of those like teams at the
Wikipedia,
bottom half of
take
the
it from people
Scottish
who've
League
been
are
watching
worse.
MLS more than Colin. How long you been watching MLS since I recommended it?
No longer than that, bro.
I remember you asked me who should I support, Nashville
No, I did not.
or someone
But
else.
I was like a half-ass Timbers fan, and
No one's a Timbers fan. Come on.
sorry. And then I liked.
Wikipedia. I'm gonna say Austin FC or
No.
FC Dallas. Austin FC. I'll give you 5 reasons why they're great.
You shouldn't
Okay.
support his club
Because they
do
don't
it.
have any colors of the enemy, i.e., they're verde and black. Matthew McConaughey is up. He's like a ambassador for that club, so he's always pounding his chest. You know what I mean? Come on. Who want to do it with me? Come on, Kieran. I see you looking. Come on, Kieran.
What are you talking about?
Hey, Matthew McConaughey.
It's from a
It's
movie,
Matthew
The
McConaughey.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Hey, come on. Do it with me, Kieran. Come on. Do it with me, Kieran. Come on. Come on now, Kieran. Come on.
You're not gonna stop until I do it, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
Come on now.
alright.
Anyway, they got Matthew McConaughey. He's a part of that. There you go, Kieran. Whenever they score a goal, the whole stadium, they flash a bunch of green lights. It's a party. The fans there. So when they first they're recently new, so you can jump on and be a fan while they're still in their infant stages. I became a fan their first year just because, honestly, it was Matthew McConaughey that drew me in, and I was becoming an MLS fan. I was starting to watch more. So that's what drew me in. But honestly, they have some ballers in Diego Fagundes, Sebastian Driussi. He's going to be in contention for MVP this year in the MLS. I think he's leading the Golden Boot race. He's been outstanding. He's a central attacking mid. He's been great. They also signed a guy, French, I believe he's French. His name is Moussa Jite. He's a backup striker as well. And then they signed some Italian Rigoni, someone like that. He's fairly new as well. So check out Austin FC if you're looking for an MLS team to support. Chelsea was terrible against Zagreb. I agree. Shearman says FC Dallas produced some balls. I actually, you were very correct. A lot of the national team is FC Dallas alumni. So
Yeah.
they definitely produce a lot lot like
Jesus
Weston
Ferreira,
McKinney, Jesus
Weston
Ferreira,
McKennie,
Che
Cannon.
Adams, Chris Richards. He just signed with Palace this year.
Oh, I didn't know that. Chris Richards signed with Palace. Huh?
Yeah, and he's been with Bayern, and they loaned him to like
Yeah, I knew
Schalke,
that.
and then he's gotten minutes with Bayern. Chris Richards, and then who else? Walker Zimmerman. I don't know if he was academy. I think we drafted. I think FC Dallas drafted.
Yeah, he was a college
I speak
player.
we because I used to work for them.
Let's be
but
honest,
I need
Walker Zimmerman is really not that good of a center back. He's just the
I
top
don't-
center
I
back
don't
for the
think so.
U.S. because our center backs suck. That's really it.
Yeah, Shearman. Oh yeah, Brian Reynolds. Brian Reynolds is a really cool dude. He's really funny. He's a super cool dude. Brian Reynolds. He's. I don't know where he is now because he was with Roma and then they loaned him somewhere.
Doesn't Carter Vickers start for the US?
No, he does
No.
not start for the U.S.
He's not even part of the squad, really.
He does not start for the U.S.
hardly
Wikipedia.
plays
Sorry,
for
Jacob, but McConaughey thinks Wild Turkey Long Branch is a good whiskey, but I'll look at Austin. Definitely come look at Austin. My dog just walked in the door. What the hell you want, mutt?
He wants steak.
He's a thick patty. He's a thick old patty.
Bring him on.
Can you see him? You see his head?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There's a little bit of him. Speaking.
Oh yeah.
It bothers me so. That's his only way he can communicate. He's just like, I'm thirsty, and he goes baka 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 baka, and then he's like, I need to go outside, baka baka baka. I'm hungry, it's baka baka baka. I mean, come on. Speaking of baka baka baka. With C cubed.
Steak.
Tap what's up? How is everybody doing?
What's cracking? What's cracking? What's shaking? What's baking?
Sorry, I'm
What's
like
steak?
so.
Ooh, good one, Kieran. Good
I
one,
haven't
Kieran.
hadn't been on one with a stream with steak in a while. What's up, steak?
I'm good. I haven't been on any streams for a while anyway, so that's probably why.
You know, and you must be feeling the what was I gonna say? Like the when you're kind of like like what's the word I'm trying to use? Like when you're having like you're addicted to a drug and you have like a
Withdrawal?
yes, a withdrawal. That's what I was thinking of. Withdrawal from it.
Yeah.
Anyways, how's everybody doing? Sorry, I'm
Not
so
suffering
late.
from withdrawals just yet.
Sorry, I'm
But
so
we
late.
were talking a little bit about MLS. Just talking
Oh,
DC
yeah,
United,
and-
if looking for a
and
team,
today's
right, Kieran,
steak.
to be honest, I'm having trouble watching MLS. James George, MLS
Oh,
games
yeah.
can sometimes be a little tough. Especially when I go from watching Tottenham in the morning to MLS in the evening. But when there's no soccer, excuse me, wherever you are, there's no football, you're gonna anything's better than nothing. Kind of like you said, if you're going through withdrawals, you'll
just
scrape
gotta
the
watch
bottom of the
right
barrel for
teams,
whatever you can get.
Right? In MLS, it's all
Or
about
you play
watching
football
the
yourself.
right teams.
Hey, Austin plays Seattle tomorrow. That's a game to look out for. Seattle
Yeah,
is
that's
fighting
a
for a
good-
playoff spot. They're historically a
Come
pretty
on,
good team.
Seattle.
Come on, Seattle, fight and win.
Their chants are
Cook.
so
Come
great.
on,
Stay.
Seattle.
Oh my
It's like,
god.
shut the fuck up. Shut the
They're the
fuck
worst.
I went to a playoff game in Seattle. It was FC Dallas versus Seattle in Seattle, and they play in the Seattle Seahawks Stadium. It was CenturyLink then, but they've named it like Auschwitz or something. I don't know what they've named it.
Oh, whoa!
How do you feel? So
Disclaimer. That is not
That's a demoralization right there.
whoopsie, whoopsie.
Oh my god. Oh.
Anyway, rewind
That's the
that
channel
back up.
take. That's
Back
a
up.
channel taken down.
Listen, I don't know what they've renamed it. It's like Alumni Field or something. That's what I meant to say.
On the
I was
next
reading a book
episode-
about. I was reading a historical book, a historical book about history. So it slipped. It's a Freudian slip. Trust me when I say that. I don't.
On the next episode,
the hell was I talking
of
about?
Jacob,
On the
Jacob
ne- on
deals
the-
with this cancellation.
Jacob behind bars. And it's like me on the phone. It's like, hey y'all, popping up with Jacob. I only got 30 minutes.
Oh my god.
No, so I was at the playoff game. I was at this FC Dallas playoff game against Seattle at the field that they have there, and the stadium there. It's the NFL stadium, and that damn chant, like, "Come on, Seattle!" Just I'm
Imagine that in
telling
the Prem. Imagine that in the
weeks.
Prem.
you, weeks on end. This it's just going on in my head. My wife be like, "What you want for dinner?" "Come on, Seattle!" I'm like, where are we going tonight? Well, come on, like it was like a.
Imagine that in the Prem.
Can I-
Like some like Fulham example. Just started chanting that.
Just it's just like so like droning. I don't even know how to explain it. Big up, Jesse.
So
Coming back.
I'm totally like taking it off track, I know, but I just like I joined like so late, and I just like started looking at the comments, and I guess you were all talking about like penalties, and I saw like Wikipedia 25 or something was like that pen was so soft, and then C. Sherman says hashtag that pen is soft, and in my like I saw that comment first and immediately read it as like hashtag that penis soft, and I was like,
It's not hard enough.
Yeah.
It's just not clear
It
cut.
definitely read that way. That's why I laughed. That's why I laughed pretty loud.
and then
James George.
The stream is
And then-
turning into an episode of Game of Thrones.
James George, don't watch Chicago. That's probably because you were watching Chicago. I think you're out there in Chicago. You're probably watching Chicago Fire. I think they've rebranded to like Fire My Asshole or something. Fibromyalgia. I don't know.
These guys got a whole ass soccer specific stadium near Chicago, and they left it to go back to playing at
Soldier Field. That's
which
absurd.
is an NFL stadium that's terrible for soccer or football.
Because it's natural field. It's natural
sidelines.
grass, and they tear it up every Sunday.
It's awful. The pitch is awful. It was just such a bad. Everything that franchise does is wrong.
Did you guys see?
So they're Burnley.
Just real quick, did you guys see the
They are Burnley, yeah.
It's coming on from the World Cup, and they're saying essentially they're gonna try to get whatever way like you guys know we have like those half authentic fields and all that, so forget about that. They're trying to get our surfaces for football, soccer, whatever, to Qatar for it. Like that came out like 8 hours ago. It was
American
really,
grass seed,
yeah. Why was it? And they were like, well, it's more burly, it's more American.
It can handle
Hell yeah, brother.
America.
Ain't no grass like none sprouted in America when it comes with that American soul and it touches the sun, an American sun. Come on, that's America's sun.
It's hot here, and so our grass can handle the heat and direct sunlight the pitches will get in Qatar. That's why they're taking American grass, because European grass literally would just burn up.
Schindler Stadium.
I love how you're giving a legitimate explanation, but it just sounds so American. It's just the dry heat of American stuff.
Exactly.
That's what I told you. The American soul, an American sun, American breeze,
I love
American. I mean, think about it. Americans speak, and that's the carbon dioxide. I think that goes out, and they start sucking it up. They suck up all the American carbon dioxide and grow strong, full of American breath.
Lovely voice.
You should, whenever the guy who does the Dodge Ram 40-day handshake commercials retires, you should apply to take his place, Jacob. I think you should.
Which guy? Which guy?
You know,
Dodge 40 Ram.
Yeah, the Dodge 40-day handshake. You know?
The Dodge 40-day handshake deal. Get your Dodge. They took our Dodge.
Took our Dodge coin.
Hey, James, it was RFK, and I used to love going to watch DC United at RFK. RFK was an absolute shithole, but it was our shithole, and I loved it. It had so much character. But now they have a stadium that also sucks. It's brand new, and it still sucks. They cut our supporter section in half to put in a Heineken branded like rooftop bar patio thing, so you can like watch the game from the Heineken branded bar that takes up a quarter of the stadium. It's really dumb. DC United is owned by the same guy, Swansea Football Club, and if you've noticed what's happened to Swansea in the last 7-8 years, you can understand why DC is.
Yeah, they got rid of Joe Roden. It's been downhill
MLS.
since then.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you get rid of Joey Roden.
Yeah.
World star Welshman.
Yeah, Joe Roden thinks you rock.
Oh, that thing Will Stewart does that Joe Roden thinks you suck. That Joe Roden thinks you.
Who are you guys' actually like hometown teams, like the teams that you grew up with in MLS?
FC Dallas would probably be closest in proximity for me.
DC's a good one. That's solid.
FC Dallas is great. They've been around since the very beginning. Grassroots, all that fun business, but never won the fucking cup. Not once.
Yes,
because they don't care.
That's not for us. Now MLS Cups is something that we just don't do. We've won.
Y'all won a bunch off the jump and then stopped.
Yeah, we've had some of the greatest players to ever grace this country. So we're awesome. We're the best. We're way better than LA Galaxy. Fuck David Beckham. Yeah, DC United DC United are the OGs of MLS. Just period. We're the OGs, and one day we'll get back there.
An MLS banter on my Tottenham Hotspur channel. I fucking love it. That's how I know this channel's really become
DC soccer capital of America.
Have any of you ever bought Birkenstocks? and then you start, you know how you're supposed to wear them, and then the cork like adheres to your foot, kind of, or like it takes shape of your foot. I feel like this channel is really becoming the shape of my foot right now, and I just want to thank you all for being a part of it.
Yeah, it becomes a little. No, the only reason why I asked is because I grew up in Mountain View, California, which is the Bay Area. Like just in that.
Oh, you in San Jose?
San Jose
Oh,
Earthquake.
mad respect.
What?
Mad respect. I love the Earthquakes. They're a good franchise.
They were there once upon a time. We had Donovan and all that, but
Houston. So
Well,
technically,
Milwaukee,
Houston Dynamo
man.
won 2 MLS
MLS
Cups off the
legend.
back of the roster that they stole from San Jose. So everyone likes to banter. That was a thing when I worked for FC Dallas. It was like San Jose were our allies because it was like both of us said fuck Houston because, you know, Houston's like, we have 2 MLS Cups, and everyone knows it's because they literally relocated the team that was going to win it to Houston to promote and make like it a bigger deal. And yeah, so that's a bunch of fun. Houston Dynamo. How do you feel about the Houston Dynamo?
I do honestly. This is one of the things that happens when you start expanding a league, especially within our culture, within the franchise culture in America, is that you start. It becomes like a cash pot where you can start expanding, and there's price limit, or there's not price limits, but there's salary caps and all that, and a lot of it is based on. Look at you, goalie of the year, Jacob. All right,
It's at the reserve team.
I'm sure he's self-serving. And I'm sure he showed you all this before, but it's the first time I've seen it, and I'm in awe. Anyways,
I wanted some proof. You need silverware. Excuse me. I needed to show it off real quick.
no, it is one of those things where like American sports do this thing where we have salary caps and sponsors pay the majority of the money, and then the clubs and the franchises rake in so much cash. I just look at our actual, American football, not NFL system. Michigan has an 100,000 seater stadium for their American football team.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous
It's a
how it's
university.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. 100,000 seater stadium for a college sports team.
It's absurd.
insane.
Think about the fact that
Well-
LSU head coach, well, I don't remember his name, but the guy would talk like this. He won a national championship. And, he went, and they paid him $17.3 million just to quit. They said, we'll pay out your contract if you quit. And he said, how much is it?
If you actually
17.3?
look at it, the highest paid public employee in the majority of states in the United States is the head college football coach of whatever school's football team in that state.
Yeah, it's absurd.
The
isn't it?
highest paid public employee in Alabama is Nick Saban, the head coach at the University of Alabama. Like it's crazy how much money is.
Yeah, Ed Orgeron. Ed Orgeron paid me $17.3 million. I'll fucking leave you.
That sounds like Star Wars planet.
So,
Yeah,
Steak,
these guys make. Sorry.
This is a little bit of a subject change. No, I kind of interrupted you there, Karen, but this is a little bit of a subject change. Steak, I thought you might like this news. I've got a home kit. I don't know if it's on the way. It's likely not on the way because I bought it from DHgate. The fuckers are going to take like 3 months to get here. So I bought 2 kits. All right. One of them is the Tottenham Hotspur home kit. Can you guess, Steak, who I got on the back?
Son.
No.
Basuma.
Basuma.
Steak.
Basuma.
Steak.
Exactly. I got Basuma.
Social shirt.
Can I ask you guys a question? Obviously, as a United fan, I've been watching you guys' games tentatively. It's definitely Conte ball. I have no problem with efficiency. I'm not impressed, but I know what Conte's about, and I know what he's about. Like, it's so I don't blame it on your squad. or anything. But while Son is in the purple patch, and you already have a creator in Kulusevski, but Richarlison comes in. What's your guys' preferred front three? Just out of curiosity, because you obviously
Son, Kane, Richarlison.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
I disagree.
That's
mine
me.
is still Son. Mine is still Son, Kane, and Decky Kulusevski.
I go
I think
Richarlison,
Richarlison
Kane.
is better off the bench, personally.
I go Richarlison, Kane, Kulusevski.
Dude, I had to defend this. I had to defend this because obviously I'm a United fan, and we have our own thing, our own channel, and like people were coming on there, and I said people were saying 60 million for Richarlison. I said, yeah, it might be steep, just because whatever you want to think about him. People's memory of Richarlison is so short. I don't really know what to say to them. 60 million, yes, it's a lot, but is it a lot in this market? And I was basically like, he's a good player. And I had someone say he's SHIT in the chat, and I was like,
You can cuss here, buddy. We're not monetized.
Well,
They
they
can't
said-
take it
Yeah,
down.
Jacob's already said Auschwitz, hasn't
I
he?
said Auschwitz. I said
Yeah,
I wasn't here
Cursing
for all that. Okay, I'm trying to be respectful to the channel, but like, no, they were like,
that's nice. Take off your shoes and get comfortable, though, my friend. This is a strap
I'm
yourself in. Don't. If you wear a strap on, that's cool too. Just.
no, I was basically just like, hey, like if you've actually watched Richarlison over the years, he's a dangerous player. He's someone who can be creative. He runs off the shoulder. He's there. He's always there. He's always working.
So
Can
I just want to correct one thing. Sorry, you said purple patch, and purple patch is actually a run of form that is like a success or like good luck. And so that would mean that Son was having, like, if he's a purple patch player or currently a purple patch, that would mean that he is having good form in a short amount, like he has a short amount of time that's like good form, and typically is like on bad form. So I'm just like,
my thing is that
So-
purple patch players don't win golden boots. Period.
yeah.
Like,
I'm
that's-
just
I feel
saying, like,
it's a,
direction.
you know,
Just like as like clarification, purple patch is like when somebody actually is usually in bad form, and then they have like short periods of good form, which in this context, I think what you're referring to is the other way around. That's all.
What's that?
Go ahead. Sorry.
The,
Go ahead.
the Ringle Dingle? I don't know what the Ringle Dingle was.
I think it's entirely fair of me to say it's a purple patch. Not for. I mean, you guys are defining it whatever way you want to, and I accept that. But honestly,
I technically don't know what purple patch means, so I don't really care.
Well, this is kind of the point. Is like It's kind of arbitrary. I'll be honest. Like you can call it what you want. I can remove purple patch, but then I can say Son will hit a point of form, whether it's now, whether it's in 2 weeks or a month, or after the World Cup, where he bangs in. Why are we doing this to me?
Sorry.
You
Look
post
at those hard nips.
on. I can't. No. But just let me finish my explanation, because I understand what you're saying. I 100% do. Son is the sort of player who will score 20 goals in the Premier League. He will, but he'll do it within 3.5 to 4 months of play, and that's just the way it is. That's the player he is. That's the player he's always been.
I'm gonna put it this way when it comes to this is my opinion solely on the Heung-min Daddy saga era, whatever you want to call it, this thing that he does. Quite frankly, when you're the reigning Golden Boot winner, you're gonna draw attention that you didn't draw in your career, especially if it's your first time to win it. Now you could say Kane, he draws the same amount of attention, regardless if he wins the Playmaker and Golden Boot and doesn't get Player of the Season, which is beyond me. But with Heung-min Son, I think that when you look at the games he's played in, if you take him out of those games, those defenses play completely different.
Exactly.
And they play us completely differently. So you take away our most dangerous vertical threat, I would argue. If Kane has that ball anywhere in that mid-circle and Son's making running behind, I mean, I have to get my change of underwear ready because it's popping.
And if you've been watching this season,
Boys,
you see
Boys and girls.
countless examples. Well, hold on. Let me just make one statement. You see countless examples of where Kane is in that position, that prime position where he drops into midfield, receives the ball, and he's looking for the through ball to Son, which was all season last season. And you see two defenders immediately track back with Son. and the fact that in almost
Reece James
every
tried to be
team
his
we've
belt.
played
Reece
this
James said,
season,
"Can I please be your leather belt, my friend?"
almost
Because he was just
every
wrapping
team
him
we
up.
played this season has either designated one defender to specifically cover Son whenever we have the ball, or has been using two players to cover Son. It's teams have changed the way they play Tottenham and the way they defend against Tottenham specifically to nullify one play, which is that Kane receiving the ball in midfield, getting on the turn and putting a through ball or ball
And
in
looking
behind
for,
the Son.
where's Daddy? Where's Daddy?
And
Exactly.
that's
Killed
probably
teams
why.
for the last 2 seasons with that, and now everybody is trying to stop it. And that's one of the things that's hard. That's changing Son's performance. It's also that Son is trying to add to his game and expand on his game by bringing in things that he used to do as a younger player. Because now that he's playing in a different position than he has been recently. Now he's playing in the left attacking mid role of 3-4-2-1, which is very rehearsed. That's full of automatics. That doesn't leave a lot of room for individual expression of the attacking players. And because of that, he's struggling to change the way he plays, because for the last few seasons, it has all been about playing on the last shoulder, getting in behind. And now that's changing a little bit.
Can I correct the record? I'll even read this out. Purple Patch player is more like Richarlison, 3 good games within 20 games of doing nothing, and all people focus is on the 3. Son contributes every game and he plays even if not scoring. That was not look. My point was not actually about Son. If we go back to what I was saying, I feel like it's like I wasn't actually talking about Son. I was saying he is a Purple Patch player. He is.
Jesse, you must understand real quick. I'm sorry. You must understand.
Scott, how many
when it comes to Sonny, Spurs fans have been attacking Spurs fans about Sonny. So everyone, when it comes to Son, I think is like, oh shit, they're talking about Son. Like, so then people like me, at least, I'm like, okay, here's why he's X, Y, and Z. But just go ahead,
dude. He's top 2, if not top. He's definitely top 2 left inside forward stroke left wingers in the league. Like, there's no doubt about that. That was not my point. My point was literally what the way we introduced this was, what is your starting front 3 for now? It was had nothing to do with Son. I was asking, what is it? Is it Kulo? Is it Son? Is it Kane? Is it what?
Hey, Kulo, I like that. Damelo.
I'm just terrible with languages, so I just call him Kulo. It sounds more like Spanish or like whatever.
No, and it's a good question though, because I think this is something for at least the past 3 matches that I've Premier League matches specifically that I've been like, okay, was this 11 going to be like? And 9 out of 10 times it's been exactly what we thought. It's a typical Conte 11 with only changes that were mandatory, or Perisic for Sessegnon, which is necessary. So the whole Son thing, even Conte was on edge in a press conference because people were asking him about dropping Son and this and that and the other. I think for me, you don't drop your best or arguably second best player just because of the attention he's going to bring is naturally going to open things up. That's why Kulusevski looks so good, is because of all the attention that Kane and Son pull that leaves him and Emerson open, because they know Emerson's not going to attack them very well. So they give him a little space.
No, and if you watch your games, you see that right hand.
There's actually a topic I do want to bring up later, and there's a movement I'm going to start, and it's a respect Emerson, and it's not necessarily for what you may think it is. I'll share that a little bit later on. But before I do that, we have to welcome in and Eugene.
Hi guys, everyone. Just to distract you from the current conversation that you're having, that you've been talking about for the past month or so, right? I need to have a big shout out to all the Chinese people around the world who are celebrating the Mid-Autumn Festival. And so we call it the Mooncake Festival here in Asia. So if you're Chinese, or maybe some Asians do celebrate it too, so big up to you guys. And of course, we won't go to the other side of the pond on what's happening there. But of course, good afternoon, good morning, good evening to all you guys, wherever you are.
Stay.
Right.
Big up
Hi,
yourself,
everyone.
Eugene.
Hi, everyone. Right. Are we still talking about Sonny? Come on.
No.
Stop it.
No. Jesse was not. He was asking
I will not
who our
stop
front,
it.
who
Hi,
our
Jesse.
front
Sorry,
three, our
yeah.
selected front three will be. I think that's a good question. Jesse's the first time here on the pop up. He's,
I know.
from what he revealed, ever so slightly, is a Manchester United fan.
Yeah,
Ever so
yeah, I
slightly.
saw that.
Ever so slightly.
Also,
Hi, Jesse. Nice to meet you.
I just want
Real
to say
quick, I
one
want to say
thing
big
you
up
said-
Rob Patterson in the house. Big up everyone late to the chat and not staying. Just want to show my face. Big up yourself, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Again, appreciate you being here. We all got a lot of love for you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Go ahead, Kieran.
Well, I just want to say one thing that Jesse touched on before. You know, watching Spurs, it doesn't look great right now. And you said it was Conte ball. I just don't want you to watch us and think that this is the top level of football that Antonio Conte can produce, because it's really not. Don't be fooled by how bad we look right now, because it's not Conte's tactics that are making us play the way we are. It's just poor individual play. Because if you go and watch that title-winning Inter Milan team that Conte coached, I mean, they were magnificent. They were so nice to watch. And yes, it's not like tiki-taka, but like his style, when implemented by competent footballers, well trained, well versed in his
Like
system.
Perisic.
It's exactly. Well, Perisic, Brozovic, Bastoni, Skriniar, and De Vrij, like all
Can't spell
these players.
Bastoni without ass.
He had
Sorry.
Hakimi on that team. All these players he had. It just when
La Caca.
you saw him with all the tools he needed, he produces some fantastic football. It's just he doesn't have all the tools right now at Spurs.
100%, Kieran. By the way, I'm not insulting Conte. I'm not insulting Spurs.
No, I didn't think so. I just don't want you to get the wrong impression.
It's incredibly effective football, dude. Like I've been watching. You know, like I understand the league, and I do have an appreciation for the way that Conte plays. Son, not so much, because you can see he's clearly. I don't know who's more of who has more of an August curse, him or Son, or Kane or Son. But look at that, jeez, he's an underwear model now. No. Honest, like trying to kill me here.
Team nipples or team denim, real quick.
You're trying to kill me. No. Conte
both.
is an amazing manager. Look, what I've seen so far is he needs time to gel the players in. But what I can say, and the impressive thing is, I'm watching so many managers who are having to bring in players and then they're having to mold, Ten Hag included. It's how long will it take to get things flowing? Conte has been there drilling on the field like since day one, and I don't have an issue with it. But what I will say is you guys will get better. You guys will continually get better. He finally had a preseason. You guys finally had a chance to organize the squad, get Kane on side, because that was a major issue before the summer, was to make sure that you guys could keep a hold of your best players and then bring in some others. And Conte is clearly not happy with the transfer business. You guys heard the press conferences. I'm sure you guys have had these discussions. But guess what? It's up to Conte to go ahead and negotiate with obviously Pertici and Levy, but also just to make sure that he has a workable environment where he can thrive in. That is the only thing Conte actually cares about. At the end of the day, obviously, he wants certain players. But Conte is one of the best league managers in world football. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Ancelotti is about to walk out the fucking door. And then you have Pep, who's about to leave, I'm sure, within a year or two. I'm sure he is. And then you have Klopp, who's falling apart because Klopp can't carry the weight for him, because that's not who he is. You guys have good opportunities. My only thing was the football is not beautiful. I'm not asking for beautiful football from Tottenham. I already said it's effective, but I also know that Conte can play beautiful football. He just needs what he wants, and that's kind of where I come from, because I think you guys gave him half of what he wants, and I think, I think eventually you guys will give him the other half if you guys can stay in there that long. So,
Kieran, I need you to check your WhatsApp, my friend. I texted you something that I sent you a bunch of messages accidentally. Wasn't meant for you, so I apologize. They're probably pretty strange reading them from your end. So I do apologize for that, my friend.
He just bombarded you with a bunch of Sunny porn pics, is what he's trying to say.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Adama Traore, like, oiled up pic.
Adama Traore as well. So apologies, Kieran. I just blew up your WhatsApp.
Oh, yeah.
Rob Patterson wanted to go to sleep. Now I'm stuck listening to you guys. Sorry, buddy. Not trying to keep you awake. Let's see. Keep a hold of our best players. To be honest, Man U's having the same issue. It's been a hot mess. Karen Klopp. Looks like Eugene is driving on a rally course. Y'all, there's something I did want to talk about while we're talking about other teams a little bit. Tuchel Ban Ball has been sacked. Kieran, I want to ask you, were you surprised to see Tuchel get sacked? They just bought Aubameyang, which everyone inferred was obviously to reunite them too. But then he gets sacked not that long after. What did you think?
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't see it coming as quickly as it did. I mean, I knew the Zagreb loss was bad. I knew things weren't going well. He definitely had some resistance in the dressing room. I don't know if he completely lost it, but I guess it's safe to assume that now. But then again, it also kind of seems as if this might have been the plan from Todd Bowley and company all along. Use the name of Tuchel as a Champions League winning manager to be able to attract the targets that you need to build the team you're trying to build the project you're working on, and then wait for the first excuse to let the manager go and bring in somebody who you want to be able to build a long-term successful project at the club. I don't see Chelsea spending like they spent this summer again in the next 2 or 3 transfer windows, at least. I think this was all about getting in young but extremely talented top level players to come in and filling the spine of what will be Potter's Chelsea. Honestly, but like if as soon as they fired Tuchel, without even having heard any of the rumors, immediately in my mind, I just thought, oh, Graham Potter. It's going to be Graham Potter. And, and then of course I tuned in to various shows and read journalists and everybody was saying that as Potter. So I was like, but I didn't even need to see that to know that was the case.
Potter.
Because it makes sense.
Harry Potter.
And it's scary
for us. Is that who
you're
talking about? It's Harry Potter.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary for us because, like, you look at what the guy's been able to do with no resources at all. It's a miracle. Like,
it's a little scary. I mean, you're right.
Before
Before I let you continue or anyone else go on, I've chosen the word of the night. It is elongation. This is now a requirement. At least every other answer or point you bring up, the word of the night must be incorporated in some way.
What does that mean?
Elongation? Do you have Google, my friend?
Elongation.
Yeah, but I can't be asked.
All right. I'll read it for you. The lengthening of something.
Yeah.
A part of a line formed by lengthening or a continuation. The amount of extension of an object under stress, usually expressed as a percentage of the original length. So you would say, like, I watched Sonny score a goal and I have an elongation of 33%. That would be an appropriate way. So, Cubes, haven't heard much from you since you popped up tonight. We're talking about the Tuchel thing. Were you surprised and or shocked? And remember, the word of the night is elongation.
I was not that surprised by it. I thought that his run or his opportunity to prove out like whether or not he could be successful with the team under this under Todd Bowley would be elongated, but it was shorter than I thought it was going to be, and they just sacked him. And so I was like, okay, I was buzzing because I thought it was funny, but otherwise it really makes very little difference to me. I was a little bit bummed that they got Potter because I do rate him. I think he's a really good manager, and I like what he's done with Brighton, and I have a little bit of a soft spot for Brighton. So, and I think that the key about Potter is like he does seem to bring out the best in players.
I think he's a fucking snake. Sorry.
Okay. I think that he brings out the best in players. I think the big test will be at Chelsea whether or not he can handle players with like big egos like Aubameyang and those type of players, because I don't think that he's dealt with those players before. But we'll see what ends up happening there. I know that like some people don't like him because he turned us down for the job, but I think
he didn't. That's alleged. He did not actually.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, and it's not. I mean, that's not the case, then he didn't. So I thought that it was, if he did turn us down when at the time that it was offered to him, if that is true, and you're saying it's not true, but if that was true, then I thought that he was pretty smart to do that, actually, because we were in a shitty place during that time. But otherwise, yeah, that's what I think about Potter, and we'll see what happens to Brighton after he left, though. I actually think that is that's really interesting to me, is like what happens to Brighton after Potter, because you'll be able to also see like how much of Brighton's success that we've seen was
due to him.
Yeah, was due to him, not because I feel like everybody's been giving Potter credit for that, including myself. But
no, he's done wonders with the average squad. I mean, they had Cucurella 1 year, which he was good for, and then they flipped his ass for like a plus 60 net gain, I think it was. Basuma, technically they sold Basuma. They technically sold him for more than they bought him. So like, these are players that I think he did get the best out of. He's a great manager. I think he's a fucking snake. How you just gonna like imagine being a guy, a grown-ass man, you sit in a room full of other grown-ass men, and you make all these promises, assertions, and like, I need you to commit to me, and give it all for your club, give it all for what I'm asking for, and buy into me, and rah, rah, rah. And then as soon as something prettier comes along on the street, he's just like, oh, see y'all. To me, that's a fucking snake. I would have been like, maybe at the summer, maybe at the end of this season, but like, he's had preseason, he's had all this time with his team. He had to have been telling them stuff like, rah, rah, get behind me and let's do this shit together and let's be a mid-table team like we know we are. And it's like, to me, I wouldn't be able to do that, to rally my troops, and they've still been doing great. Are they in the top 4 or 5? They're right up there.
Be realistic. You're being paid loads shit of money. You go.
But man, come on. Where's the fucking loyalty? Where's the loyalty?
There's no loyalty in football.
Loyalty has gone out the door long time ago. Yeah. Come on, what loyalty are you talking about, right? There's no such thing as loyalty anymore, right? You get paid higher, you leave. That's a simple thing.
Sonny is loyal. Sonny is loyal.
For now.
Sonny is loyal for the moment, yeah.
I mean, but the thing is, it's also different. It's also different for managers than players too, because managers get dropped on a dime. They can just, take a bad turn,
anytime they want.
Lose 6 games on the trot, and you're out in almost any team at this level. Meanwhile, players can be shit sometimes for years, as we know, and still get paid and maybe even get a contract extension.
Your cross-bias read separate journalistic stories down the line. Like, so he wanted to he fired Marina Buck, and
was someone talking, or am I hearing shit?
No, I might
I
have
don't even know.
I might have been playing something through.
I thought you were talking and your video was lagged, and I was like, okay, where's he going with this? And then you stopped, and I was like,
no,
What?
Yeah, that's what I felt happening too.
no,
I'm
because
the only one that used elongated in my response.
that's true. So you get a point for that, Cubes. What's up, Goguma in the house? A member of the 10-inch club. She says, hi, Jacob, United Spurs America. Big up the Empress of YouTube herself, the one and only Goguma. I hope you're having a great lunchtime, typically it is for you. C. Sherman says he's Jose and loyal. Big up
let me go
panel.
on the elongation rant, right? Yeah, Tuchel won the Champions League, and Chelsea fans had a long-term elongation, right? But it covers the cracks in actually Tuchel's style of management. If he was really successful, right, he would have actually brought PSG to the level that PSG wanted, you know.
Yeah.
So I think what Roman actually bought a dud in, and he was lucky to. I mean, in a sense, luck played a part of it, and the style of football he played a part of it. And he won the Champions League because they played M City, if I'm not mistaken, when that season when they won the Champions League, right?
Yep.
They in the finals they weren't playing a Real Madrid or Barcelona, or Bayern Munich. So maybe that covered all over Tuchel's elongation, right? So in the end of the day, right? So in the end of the day, right? If last season, if Roman was still in charge, and that kind of results they were getting in the last 10 games, right? You know, ago. And to tell the truth, if Roman was here, Roman would have gotten Potter. Because Roman would have gotten some elite, elite proven, title winning, Champions League winning manager instead of Potter. So now all you guys, Chelsea fans, right, who's having elongations about Potter, yeah, keep it down, boys.
Can I ask?
That's what I gotta say about elongation.
I want a opinion from all of you. Who actually rated Tuchel that much? Because I've watched a lot of football. And he was never that. He was never it. He hasn't been it. He was never at Dortmund.
Yeah.
He wasn't at PSG. He wasn't at Chelsea. He won a Champions League. Di Matteo won a Champions League at Chelsea. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
Guess who else is a champion of Chelsea? Is Kai Havertz. Now, he's a good player. I'm not going to lie. He is a good player. He has technical ability. But is he that player? Is he actually...
He's Timo Werner levels.
It's just one of these things. Like, I obviously, like, as a United fan, you can take the piss out of me all day. And I will shoot back at Tottenham. But I'm looking at Chelsea and I'm going... and by the way, for anyone who doesn't know our channel, I'm not going to shout it out. We'll wait until I come on a couple more times to do that. But
Jesse, I would like to subscribe to your channel.
This is not about. It's Tuchel. We've been talking about this, me and my buddies, as well as you guys all. You guys are all new friends. Tuchel's not the guy. He hasn't been. We've been saying he's a cup manager for about 8 months now. I don't understand how people are saying a couple of mediocre league finishes verifies him as one of the best managers in the league. He's not world class. He hasn't been. He's never been. Plain simple. I don't understand why people think that.
Unai Emery is a better manager than Thomas.
Probably is.
Yeah. The only problem with Unai is that I think it's the language
would anybody
barrier.
argue with that?
Europa League merchant.
Oh, Europa Cups. Come on, guys. No manager. He's never. No manager's ever done that. And I think 3 of them were consecutively.
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah. So come on. But the sad part about Unai, he came over with Arsenal and then he wasn't given time to prove himself, right? So maybe he'll get another chance somewhere along the line.
I don't think Emery was back to Arsenal.
Yeah, and he wasn't back at Arsenal too. Yeah. So
I also don't.
My thing about the Tuchel, to talk about the Tuchel thing for a second that you brought up, Jesse. For me, I think why everyone was up in arms like, oh, this fucking Skeletor bastard is so great, right? Is because he came in, he won a Champions League. But you made a good point. Some dude whose name I don't even fucking know also won a Champions League with them bums. So, I mean, obviously it's just, you know, one of them things. They're gonna drop a whole bunch of money and try and get it done. I thought it was strange timing for me, the fact that they got rid of him this quickly. But again, it's
Don't worry,
Chelsea,
he'll
so
probably be our next manager.
yeah. In what 4 years' time, he'll be our new manager.
Yeah.
So that's for me. Big
4 years' time,
Bobby
Poch is
K
coming
is
back.
in the house. What's up, Eugene?
Yeah, big up, Bobby. I say 4 years' time, Poch will be back.
I don't even want to think about that. Again, the word of the night is elongation. But Eugene, what are we doing tomorrow?
What am I doing tomorrow? I'm working tomorrow.
Yeah, no. What are we?
Like you were
and
saying
me,
earlier,
buddy.
right? What do I do?
Oh yeah.
Me and you? We? I don't know. Are we doing something tomorrow? I'm not sure what we're going to do tomorrow, Jacob. But I know what I'm going to do on Tuesday night. I'm going to do a watch along, right, for the Sporting game, if it's going on. Right? I haven't done a watch along in such a long time.
Yeah, we're assuming it's going on.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, I
assuming.
think so. It's UEFA, not Prem.
Yeah. And then we are playing away, so it'll be in Portugal anyway. So
You know, that'll be
Marcus Edwards on fire at the moment.
Oh yeah, ex-player, ex-academy player. Yeah.
Probably take him over Lucas, someone like that at the moment.
Lucas, what a guy. Have y'all seen that documentary on Spurs play?
Nah, not leaving my fucking money.
Yeah.
It's not that good. It's like all in Portuguese, and for me, I'm not trying to fucking read a book while I listen to a documentary.
Yeah,
that's just
why,
me.
That's why I never watched Juventus All or Nothing.
Yeah, I tried to watch it as well, and it was just like, nope, can't do it. Because I like to do other stuff while I watch and listen.
Subtitles?
Yeah, like having.
Unless it's like, I mean, like Narcos.
I need it in English.
Yeah, Narcos, I'll fucking read those subtitles because they're still blam, blam, blam. But if it's like, oh, I kicked the ball, and my friend said I kicked the ball so good, and he liked the way I kicked the ball, but I have to read that in a span of 30 seconds? No fucking thank you.
Yeah, I like to eat in between. Like, grab some fucking popcorn.
Yeah, I like to look away for a second at something or like do something else when still listen and like observe. And it's just like, I had to pay attention for 30 seconds for him to say he kicks the ball. His friend kicks the ball well too. They all like kicking the ball. And the coach said they kicked the ball well. And it's just like, that's fucking great. That's
subtitles.
the Lucas Moura doc was like, it's like, this is my family. I'm so glad they're here. Hi, how you doing? Hey, so good to see you. And like all this, I'm just like, all right, where are we going here, y'all? And then it was like, and here they are doing something else as a family. I'm like, is this gonna be his fucking story or like?
Obviously,
you know, maybe this makes me a bad like Spurs fan and Sun fan, but I haven't seen Sensational either, and I'm not.
No,
really
that's actually fucked up, Kieran.
I'm not really arsed
Oh,
about watching it.
I haven't seen it either.
I
So
love Sun,
don't feel
but
too
like
bad.
I don't know if I can just sit through like. I don't know. It's
I don't think I even know that existed.
Yeah,
what are we doing
like
tomorrow? Yes.
I mean, I'll watch a
what are
Sun
we doing
like
tomorrow?
biography. I'll watch a Sun biopic when he's retired, like after he's won some trophies.
You know what I did read
you know?
with subtitles for?
Then I'll watch a Sun biopic.
I Am
but not
Zlatan.
now.
There's a doc. I Am
that is-
Zlatan.
I am steak.
I love Zlatan.
Yeah, he had a biopic. It was a movie like on his life, and it was mostly in Swedish. So I love that. I love that movie. I watched those because again, it was like a movie, not a documentary. Because in a documentary, there's sometimes just like those 5-10 minute spells where it's just like, okay, come on, like I'm here because I want to see what he's done for fucking Tottenham. I don't care about the roof he played on when he was a kid. I'm sorry. I love the guy and what he's done for us, but like when you have his brother, like he jumped on this roof and our grandma was like, how is he gonna get down? I'm like, bro, you're wasting my time is what you're doing. I don't need that little anecdote. I don't. personally. I want to see what he's done for
Forward
Tottenham
backward,
when
right?
we got him, what he did before we got him. Like, I don't.
He was jumping on roofs before we got him.
Apparently, as a child, yeah. And then it's just like, I don't know if it's lost in translation, but it's like he started saying how his parents were working, so his aunt and uncle raised him. And then he goes on later to say, so yeah, I was a handful for my parents all the time. And it's like, bro, you just said that they weren't around and you were raised by your aunt and uncle. But then you're also saying that you were like this wild, rambunctious kid for your parents. It lost me. It did not keep me hooked. Spurs TV, if you're listening, you need to hire someone like myself to become your multimedia producer because, quite frankly, y'all need to step it on up.
Just have that person from Amazon who done the documentary. Like, he's probably good enough. Like, he done the voice.
I didn't even
TV's
think
not gonna
the
pay
Spurs
for it.
All or Nothing
I
documentary
was
was
in.
that good
I was
either.
actually in All or Nothing, believe it or not.
Well,
When they did Dallas Cowboys, yeah. I was working for Dallas Cowboys at the time.
I thought you meant a Tottenham one. Oh, okay.
No, that would be a lot cooler.
I was like working for an actual.
It was really cool for the first 3 years. It was like a dream come true. I was experiencing things I never fathomed. I was meeting people I'd only dreamed of meeting, having interactions like
more than he's ever elongated before.
What's that? Whoa, what?
He was elongating more than he's ever elongated before.
This was a moment of elongation in my life, so to speak. But I was definitely, like for the first 3 years, like living the dream, if you will. But then the last 3 years, it was just kind of like, because I worked for 2 different departments. I worked for the video department of the coaching department, so I'd film practice of the wide receivers and special teams primarily, and then I'd upload that for players and coaches for their iPads and meeting rooms, etc. And then the other half of my job was I'd work with Cowboys TV, which was video production on like a television side. So I worked for both departments. So it was like this department saw me as a TV guy and the TV guys saw me as a video guy. So like that was great for 3 years. But then the last 3 years, it was like, I'm really trying to have my own spot. I don't like, I'm just kind of in between. But it was a great experience. That I didn't have a good balance of work and personal life and like personal time, because even in the off season, you're working 50 hours a week, during the season 70, 80 hours a week, and it's just like you literally go home, sleep for 5 hours, and then you're back at it again, and it's like that for an entire season. It is a bitch. The people who work for Tottenham doing the same shit that I just talked about, I know it's a bitch because they travel. You gotta like worry about equipment and batteries and charging this and memory cards, and like it's a lot. It is a lot. So I definitely the last 3 years working for the Cowboys was tough mentally, and spiritually, just because I was just like I barely have time to go home and let my dog out to take a shit, and because I'm just at work for 12 hours a day, it's like, at some point you gotta. And then I met my beautiful wife, and really I started. It kind of put things in perspective, like, what is the point of life? What is what am I trying to do with myself? Am I trying to be a video / TV guy for the Dallas Cowboys the rest of my life? Am I trying to be
Why not?
Am I trying to be a husband and a father? Am I trying to, like what is my end goal here? And so that's kind of where I came with it.
Yeah, people say, "Well,
I'm going to go off now." So, good night.
Good night, Steak.
All right, Alex.
Yes,
Take care.
Steak.
Hey, Steak, I'm doing a watch along on Tuesday. You want to join us?
Okay.
You hop on. I'll put the link into the stream and the chat, so then you can help us. Yeah. I'll see you then, Steak. Take care. Bye bye.
Yeah.
See you, man.
Bye.
Hi, Steak.
Steak.
Good night.
What were you saying there, Jesse?
No, I was just saying there's a lot of wisdom in that, and I think that people oftentimes trying to it's not. There's a lot you can learn from just like backing away from certain things and understanding what's important. So I've done it a million times. Look, like I have my sisters and my family and children that are on the way. And it's just like you have to start understanding basically like what this this whole thing is about, whether it's work, whether it's YouTube, whether it's whatever. No, I just understand where you're coming from. You have to prioritize.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure. And the thing is, like, in life, there's got to be balance, right? Like, if all I did was YouTube all day and talk about Tottenham all day, it's like, okay, take that away. What am I? Who am I? Like, what defines me? So definitely a little bit of introspection there for me.
To tell you the truth, Jacob, right? Each society have their own cultures in what you see and what you look at, right? If you're in Asia, then you'll be a totally opposite side of things, to tell the truth, right? On your side of the pond, you have time to think about these type of things. But for us, right, we toil all the time. We toil non-stop. That's our lifestyle here, right? You know, like the only time I'm free to do shows, right, is actually while I'm driving to work.
Yeah.
Think about that, right? Why do you think Eugene is always in the car on shows,
Yeah.
on your show, on your show, right? Yeah, that's the only time I have to do shows. And on my off day, I only get to do one show. A part of that, I'm doing about 12 hours a day, including traveling back and forth from work, right?
Yeah.
But that's life for us over here. We're used to it, but we get on, right? Because somehow or another, food has to be put on the table, rent has to be paid, so life goes on.
Life goes on, my friend. There's something else I wanted to talk about, but you know, we got the games getting canceled. Might have Champions League. Rob Patterson. I talked about this a little bit earlier on in the show. I just feel like there's been so much talk about this subject from people who are far more qualified to speak on it than I am. So out of respect of everybody and everything, I'm just not going to speak about something I'm uneducated about. I don't know enough about I know her name. I know like the Cliff Notes, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm not educated enough. So that'd be like asking a snail to talk to you about iodized salt, the difference between that and Himalayan salt. He probably wouldn't be the best one to tell you.
Can I just give my? And I'm not gonna. It won't be with the channel. Like I'm not gonna. It's not gonna. Be against the channel or anything. The way that I just explained it on my own stream was just this has nothing to do, especially with Americans or people who are from areas who don't have an affinity with the Queen. It has nothing to do with us. You have to allow people to mourn the way that they want to, and so we're not going to take that against anyone. The fact that the games were called off this weekend, we're not going to say, well, that's not right, because if that is the decision of a British company and Britain in the whole for what is the nation's basically their main sport, and it is, and I think the son of the deceased Queen Elizabeth is the head of the FA or someone in the family. We have to just honor that and just allow that to pass by. It has nothing to do with us. We're supporting a British product. Just go with it, understand it, and even if you don't have the affinity, just understand that there are people like ourselves who, I don't know about the people in the chat, there might be some people who deeply feel something about this event. We might not, but you have to let people be in their emotions, and it's none of our business at the end of the day. Just suck it up.
Definitely ain't my business.
I understand. To me, it's very simple. It's just respect and no comment. That's all. No matter what you feel, because we are not part of that society, right? Even though I'm in Malaysia, we're part of the Commonwealth, but I see that in a different view. But we won't go there, right? But it's just let's respect, no comment. Decisions has been made. Just accept it, right? And of course, for us, not on the side of the pond, we just leave it at this and let those people on that side of the pond debate it out, whatever they want to debate it out about. That's going to be their problem, right? For us, is that I'm going to watch F1 this Sunday. That's all.
Yeah, it's been
for me. I was getting a little Wi-Fi break there. Am I all right? Y'all see me?
No, you're good, man. You're good.
I feel like my video's lagging, but I can't tell if it's just on my end or.
It is a little bit, Kieran, and I think what happens is when you do that virtual background thing, it fucks with it. Like, I know that was happening for Colin. Yeah, if you do that, like StreamYard blur or whatever, it kind of messes with like
if you,
your.
Especially if you use PS, you need really high grade speeds and all that. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just turn that off for now. Yeah, it looks better already. But as for me,
I gotta run off real quick. I gotta run to the restroom real quick. Kieran, Eugene, Jesse, please take over. I'll be right back.
As for me, I just wanted to say I pretty much agree with what everybody said. And you know, obviously, Britain has had a huge, has had a huge influence on world history over the last over the last few centuries. And so people are going to have all sorts of opinions. You know, I have my own opinions about certain things, but at the end of the day, like, this isn't the platform for that. And also, somebody has died, somebody's lost a family member, and there is a degree of, at least in public and on public forums, maybe just, have a little bit of decorum over that, at least in their immediate passing, so, yep, that's all the...
Yeah, I mean, it really just is at the end of the day. Like, it's not something that we get to tell people how to feel about. Like, I would never tell anyone how to feel about certain circumstances in their own country. We get it a lot as Americans, which is fair enough. We don't really care, which is the irony, because we're so used to it. But for something like this, that's so monumental, just stay out of it. There's no... The problem is people want to say something. They feel like something's been taken away from them. Leave that to British people in the UK to feel aggrieved that they don't get their football this weekend for whatever reason. Yeah. I found it incredible the way that obviously the Rugby Association did it. They did it in a way that on my podcast, my stream, that I think was honorable. But in the same way, or at the same time, like, I can't tell people how to do this. I can't, because I don't understand how they feel. So it's
exactly, yeah.
Just forget about it.
Each his own. That's all. To each his own.
Yeah, and definitely you shouldn't, like, yeah, that's a big thing for sure. I wasn't even considering that angle in all of this, but like, from a football side of things, if you're not British, then really you cannot be complaining about Premier League football being canceled over this. Like, really, like, as a non-British person who watches
I'm angry.
Football, I'm
Kieran,
not
I'm
complaining
angry.
that they've canceled it. And like, anybody
Kieran,
who is
I'm
should honestly
furious,
just
brother.
shut the hell up.
Kieran, I'm fuming out my ears, brother. I'm angry.
I think the home fans are a bit angry is because a lot of people have paid money for the
that's their right. That's their right.
Imagine if I was trying to go to that City game at the
imagine I've already flown over,
Mm-hmm.
right? You tell me the match has been postponed, so I don't get my plane ticket replay. I mean, then it will like defeat the purpose that I'm there for, right? I want to go and see the match. I don't get to see the match, right? I spent so much money to buy the plane ticket, I mean, then it is what it is, right? So, just say it's just bad luck. That's what happened.
The clubs should at least make sure that everybody who bought tickets for these games, when they're rescheduled, that their tickets are immediately like transferred over. It's still gonna inconvenience some people. Like, some people might not, like you said, be able to make the trip again. But that's the least that these clubs can do, and they should be doing. And I hope that's the case. I don't know if clubs have said that they're going to do that or not.
If they've done it,
they should.
Clubs have done it for fans that have traveled across seas to go to those games. They've done it. They've done it before. Yeah, there's been people that that got snowed, that Burnley game when it got delayed, and Harry Kane and reached out. So they do it, and you'd imagine that this would be something similar of the sort. But yeah, that's just to move away from that subject a little bit.
Imagine the couple of Son fans go and watch the Etihad game. So pity them, right? They won't be able.
Yeah,
to
that's
see
true. I
them
mean,
play.
think about that. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
We're a little bit
That's how I see
removed. We're now a week away, or a week from the transfer deadline ending. Are we having any transfer hindsight? Cubes, I haven't heard from you in a minute. Transfer hindsight. Cubes, if you were there, I don't know if you are, but
Yeah, I am. But it's just I just thought Eugene was gonna talk because he started talking.
Oh no, go ahead.
Okay. Transfer hindsight. I still feel the same way. We need a right wing back, a top quality right wing back, or just better than what we have, which is a low bar, anyways. And we need a top quality center back, and hopefully that right wing back would be somebody that has more creativity as well. I definitely take a creative midfielder, but I feel like if we could find somebody with more creativity that on the wing back, I feel like that's enough. And yeah, that's how I felt when the transfer window shut, and that's how I continue to feel. I've calmed down though. I'm less angry about the fact that we didn't get somebody in at the very end. I've just sort of I guess gotten over that part of it and just been well, this is what we have right now.
The acceptance phase. I'm the same way, Cubed.
Yeah,
I reached my destination. So I'll catch up with you guys later. Right, I'm gonna go to work.
You want to plug your channel in the next time you're live, my friend?
I'll be going on, like I said, this Tuesday.
Where can they find you? Hold on, let me get this
you can
banner
find me
down.
on you can find me on Spurs Ration TV. Maybe I'll be going back to my crazy stream kind of scenario. Let's see how that happens. Right, Spurs Ration TV, YouTube, guys, you can join me. Smash the like, subscribe, right? And all you guys in the panel, you're invited, right, to join me for this watch along that I've not done in such a long time, right? For the Sporting Lisbon game, right? Hopefully it goes on. If it goes on, there'll be a watch along. If it doesn't go on, then maybe we'll just do a show and just talk whatever we want to talk about.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right, big up, buddy.
All right. All right.
Have a great rest of your day.
I'll throw the link into the group chat when it's all done. All right, guys. Take care. Bye.
All right, see you, man.
Take care, Eugene.
All right. Bye. Nice meeting you, Jesse.
Hey, cheers, brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah. Anyways, that's how I feel about it. I don't know. Maybe the slight optimistic side of me is hoping maybe in January we can go back in and get somebody for those roles.
Nice.
But we'll see. Yeah.
Well, real quick, I'm gonna come to the rest of the panel, and then Jesse, I want to also ask you this in regards to your team and over there with United. But I'm gonna close this poll. I started a poll 5 hours ago. Lisbon next? ? No one said ain't happening. So, first of all, there's 24 votes and 19 likes on the video. So I'm questioning the fucking five of yous guys. Why are you gonna be a hater and vote, but not smash and tickle the like? Why you gonna do that? That just ain't right. I mean,
right, boys.
You want to participate in the poll, and I like that about you. It's a tantalizing attribute to your feature, and I want to know more. But then you didn't like, so then I question, what's happening? You know what I mean? You voting, but you ain't liking. I don't like it when I vote either, technically, because it's like you want shit or you want shit, and it's just like I guess whichever one's the least shitty, and it's like they're both just shitty. So. That's not the situation here. We're trying to have fun here. So big up yourself. If not, much love anyway. I see Goguma says, I must go too. Take care, everyone. Take care. I hope you have a great rest of your day, Goguma. Thank you for popping in. You bless the stream anytime you're in.
Bye,
Whether it's for a
Goguma.
long time or a short time, it's always a good time. Goguma. Big loves at Jacob United Spurs. Big up, big up. Goguma's a member of the 10-inch club. You can be a member of the 10-inch club as well. If you're going over and you want to be a Patreon member. If not, you can also just hit that like and subscribe. We're 3 subscribers away from 300. That's why we were referencing 300 at the beginning of the stream. And I told everyone about the story my wife told me not to tell about Gerard Butler's sexual escapades. But I just can't hold it in when I think about 300 and I think about him yelling and cutting a bunch of people with his sword.
That was
He had
crazy
a sword
when you told
yeah.
that story, Jacob. I felt like I was on Entertainment Tonight or like
Da-na-na,
TFC.
da-na-na. Wait, that's Sports Center.
That's such a scoop. Yeah, that's right.
I was trying to do
TV
ET.
network. That was a hell of a scoop, though. Some insider Hollywood action right there.
Apparently, he just out there slanging it to whoever gonna holler at him.
I mean, wouldn't
she
you?
was just.
Wouldn't
She was
you?
just.
If you looked like Gerard Butler.
Oi, Gerald
I mean,
Butler.
come on.
I mean,
think we all
my
know,
opening.
Jacob, you would be up to.
My first
numerous
question was,
activities.
did he say this is Sparta as you know that's my main question because if he did not, I'm
when he
disappointed.
reached the mountaintop. Did he scream?
What's
"This is
up?
Sparta"?
What's up, Awantha? Anthony? What's up, Jesse? Says what's up, Jesse. I'm gonna say what's up to you, even though you just came in here and said what's up to Jesse. I'm gonna say big up yourself for being here this evening, morning, whatever it may be for you, my friend. Thank you for joining in. Came in at an interesting time. I was sharing.
They've been keeping me hostage, but they've treated me nicely. So don't come with the guns or anything. We're good. We're good.
You guys. Bye, Goguma. Love you, girl. So the funny thing is, Jesus not making the Brazil call up. Freaking Reuters wrote a story about it. Like, I was like, really? Like, is that big of a deal that Reuters just dedicated an entire story to just the headline of Jesus misses out as Brazil call up new phases before World Cup? I was like, wow. Oh man,
Insane. I don't know because somebody just dropped off. Who do you guys have as favorites for this World Cup? Just like off the top of your head, just like 5 seconds. Who do you have? Because I have Brazil. For some weird reason, I feel like they're going to do some.
Brazil and Argentina.
Argentina. Well, yeah.
I think Brazil and Argentina are going to be in the final.
Yeah, I don't know why I feel like Brazil is just going to like have an absolute stormer. But I'm not. Yeah, not so clued in. But I'm watching the European teams, and they're just not looking like they're serious. They look like they're good teams, but they don't look like they're serious. And I don't know what to say. Like.
Yeah, I don't. That's my prediction. I think Brazil and Argentina are going to make it to the final. But obviously World Cup goes in a whole lot of different directions, and it's hard to ever predict. But I think that both of those squads are looking really strong this year.
110%.
They're both going to be hard to beat, but I don't know. I still look at that French team, and they still have a lot of talent. It's hard for me to. I know they went out on pens to Switzerland in the Euros, but that is
first.
Yeah.
You know how like it's like the curse of like they can't even make it out of the group stage or something like that. Isn't that the curse that there is, like whoever won the previous year or something?
Yeah,
so
typically, but
yeah, typically there's something like that. I don't know. I even though we have Richie in the Brazil squad, I would rather if it is Argentina and Brazil in the final, I think I'd be rooting for Argentina. So I would love Cootie to, get the World Cup.
Yeah, I would also probably pull for Argentina. I've always been kind of had a soft spot for them and a lot of Argentinian players. I just like the way I like their football culture down there, the way they play football. So
yeah, and even though they got Messi, I still feel like a little bit of the underdog in some ways because I mean Brazil's just Brazil, right? So yeah,
I don't know. Brazil does have some aging guys, some young guys who maybe aren't quite as proven, and then a lot of guys in the prime of their careers who are at various levels in European football, and I just wonder how that team's going to gel across the course of a tournament. It's one thing for them to be playing Copa America against all these other South American teams. It's another thing to go into a World Cup and playing against the top teams from Europe and Asia and elsewhere as well. So
yeah.
I was just about to say, but homie, hop back in. I was just gonna say Brazil, Argentina for sure. Yeah, I could totally agree with that. Brazil and Denmark as dark horse. By the way, Brazil.
Denmark. Wow.
Oh no, I hear it. I think people are counting out Brazil just based off of what they see in their squad. Denmark, now that is a proper dark horse. But the way that Eriksson, and this is what I was trying to bring up to you guys earlier, but we kind of skipped over it. But I think this is a good way to move on. You guys know better than I. It's not hurtful. The whole thing is done. Eriksson came to United. At least he didn't go to Arsenal. At least he didn't go to Chelsea. At least he came to United. Like, I mean, out of the three, I think you would choose.
I didn't even want him back. To be totally honest.
He's been our best player. He's been our best
player. That's not saying much, honestly. Your guys' team has some absolute.
Dude, we're not that far behind. I hear what you're saying, but it's not. I mean,
minimal. You have some really good players as well.
Midfield. I think he adds more.
You have some really good players as well, and I think he does add to your team. But like McTominay, Fred, like the other midfield, like Pogba's never been that good for United. The other midfield options that were there before, he's not really. I mean, his only real competition is Bruno, and personally, I think Bruno is an overrated player.
Oh, don't get me started. He is shocking. He's
been really poor this season. Yeah.
No. He's actually a bad footballer. Bruno Fernandes is actually a very, very bad footballer. Now I remember because I played under 12s for Palo Alto Soccer Club in California, and I think it was 12 assists in 3 games when it was under 12s. That's what Bruno reminds me of. It's not because I was like an elite level footballer. It's because I could spam a hero pass over. Like it's just Bruno Fernandes is not a good footballer. Watch him. He doesn't have. There's nothing adept about it. He's brave, is what it is. But the only reason why he's afforded that bravery is because managers allow him that. No, I just don't want to hear it. Christian Eriksen is actually a very good footballer. I'm not saying Tottenham should be going like, oh well, we want him back. Of course not. But my whole point is just like the fact he comes to United instead of someone like Chelsea or a
Get the fuck in, James.
Well, to be honest, I don't think he'd play very much at Chelsea. I mean,
oh yes, he would. Oh my god, have you seen their midfield?
They went in for him though. I mean, like I'm not saying that he wouldn't get into the team. I'm just saying that I think he had like a presser or something. Like he said that it was basically his options were Man U and Brentford, and like.
Yeah, okay.
And then there was all these rumors that like Spurs were all like going in for him and trying to get him, but like it came out like he confirmed that like that Spurs inquired about him and then like just disappeared after that.
No, I'm not saying you guys couldn't have got him, by the way, over anyone else.
Oh, you proper Welshman.
He would improve our team.
That's what I'll be.
I'm not saying he wouldn't improve our team either. He would.
That's not what I'm
saying. I just don't think he gets. To be honest, I don't think the Chelsea midfield options are that bad. I just think that Tuchel isn't a good manager.
No,
he couldn't put them together. Honestly, I think Kovacic is a good player. I think Jorginho is a good player. I think Mason Mount is a good player. I think Conte is one of the best midfielders in European football history. I mean, there is absolutely no reason they can't have a functional midfield. It's because Tuchel is a bad manager. He's just a bad manager. And and most of all, he's a bad man manager, and those guys have turned against him, and that's why they're playing terribly. But also, he wastes them by constantly playing a 3-4-3 formation, which, it's one thing with Tottenham. It's another thing entirely when you have all those midfield options, and you're pushing Mount out to the wing and doing all this crazy stuff. He never plays players consistently in the same positions. I honestly don't think they have a bad midfield. I think they had a bad manager who couldn't get the best out of the.
I have to be honest with you. Go ahead. Sorry.
So I just want to be like clear, like when I'm saying like stuff like that, it's just more like I'm not saying that he wouldn't have picked Man U over all these other like teams or whatever. I'm just literally just clarifying like what I know to be like the case or true. Like, it's not an argumentative thing in any way. I'm just saying specifically, like, this is what I heard actually happened. Or this is, like, the facts associated with it as far as I know it. But
these are the facts of life?
Yeah, but I'm not, like, having any sort of, like, I'm not stating sort of, like, opinion associated with that. Because when I do state opinions associated with things, I will be very clear about this is an opinion. So I am going to say something that is opinion based, that is maybe like controversial. I don't know, probably not controversial, but like maybe is like a little bit like unpopular take or something. I don't know. But as a Man U fan, Jesse, I think that despite what David De Gea, like what he said, like what he did with that horrible Brentford performance and everything, I had thought he would have made like a good captain. And I thought that he would like be a much better captain, obviously, than like Harry Maguire. And I was like, time that I was
Maguire.
Yeah, I was like, why didn't they make David De Gea like captain? Because even with the terrible Brentford performance, like he asked to be the one to talk to the press, and he like stood up and was like, I'm taking responsibility for this shit, like these 2 shit goals, like that, like this was my fault. And like I feel like that's like very like captain sort of, you know what I mean, like taking responsibility, like, and I feel like
that's like, I fucked up, everybody's seen it, everybody knows it, and I'm just gonna do the only thing you can do and accept the reality.
Like the only thing he could do. He could have hit behind Ten Hag
here without her fully finishing her thoughts.
Yeah, he could have hid behind Ten Hag. So, anyways, it's probably an unpopular opinion. I definitely felt a lot stronger about the idea that I felt like he would make a potentially good captain for Man U before the Brentford performance. After the Brentford performance, it got shaky. But, just putting that out there, that I thought that he was a better choice than like Harry Maguire.
This is a entirely different discussion for another time, because I have a million views. Obviously, I've had this discussion hundreds of hours about this on YouTube. But what I will say is that David De Gea, look, he speaks a good game. He is a good person. He does know what United is about. He's, besides Phil Jones, he's one of the last people who's actually won the Premier League with us. David De Gea is a winner. He is, but he doesn't. There's something here that's broken, 110%. When it comes to, I mean, people had issues with Harry Maguire keeping the armband and all this. What I want to focus on though is, and I know that we had a bad demonstration of this last night or the night before next, depending on what time zone you're on, or the night before. Depending on what time zone we're on.
Bro, look, time is a man-made construct, so it doesn't matter.
100%. Time doesn't actually exist unless you're a man or a woman. But man
or a man bear pig.
There we go. That is right. Yeah, exactly. Fucking yeah. I'm not gonna go. The truth is, we just have this we have this different way of looking at it now. What we're looking at is essentially we have a broken midfield, we have a broken attack, and we're looking at players, and David De Gea is not at fault for what is going on at the back, because I completely lost my train of thought.
Question, I'll help you here.
Yeah.
He's not responsible for the leaking at the back, but who's responsible for the leaking in your stadium? It rains, and then I see all the videos come out that there's a bunch of water leaking and stuff. So my thought is this, like, I was on a stream, I was on Big Six Bands earlier today, and there was a couple Manchester United folk in there, and so my main thing was like, okay, I get being upset and this, that, and the other about the product you see on the field. You'll just change managers. Obviously, it's going to take some time to get everyone up to speed. But if y'all invest in all this and that and the other in the team, I as a fan, or like if I was a Manchester United dude, I'd be like, bro, my stadium is fucking falling apart and it's leaking and there's rats in the toilets. And what else did he tell me? There's something else that, like, it's just like, bro, you gotta fix your home before you start trying to go to the club and being like, this is how the club needs to be ran, bro. Fix your home. That's my thought. Do you have any thoughts about the stadium? Do you care?
I mean, I'll give a quick rundown. We're 600 million pounds in debt. That is debt that's been leveraged against the club. It's not on the Glazers, so the Glazers don't have to pay it off. They have absolutely no duty to pay it off. It's only on. No, these boys are taking the piss out of me. I appreciate you guys, though. Thank you for showing up. 600 million pounds that are leveraged on Manchester United, because for the first time in history, a sporting institution was able to be bought and have that debt leveraged on the club. So we're already 600 million. The Glazers don't really care, because at the end of the day, whoever buys that club will have to actually pay off the debt for them. We also have 1 billion that we need to do. We're about 4 years off from running into safety regulations on the stadium because it's falling apart. Carrington doesn't have it. The women's team is playing at the Cliff. The Cliff is where the 92 team was training in Manchester.
That's lovely.
And so they were running a mile to the bathroom, which is why our previous women's coach quit, because she was like, look, they're not even taking care of us, so I can't do this anymore because I have to make a stand.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting to the point where they literally don't have enough money to do anything without selling assets. So they tried to bring Apollo in for 9% of the club, sell it for like 300 million. United fans basically shut that down. We've been rejecting sponsors. We've been doing a bunch of things. Will it work? No, absolutely not. Because who really cares? But then we just get things from the media and everyone else saying, well, they're ungrateful. This is the first time in history, but not first time in history, first time in our history that things have changed. They're going, the Glazers might actually be bad owners. Like, you guys are like, might want to understand, like, our club is actually only worth like 2 billion pounds. Now that's a lot of money, but they're listed for like 4 billion. I don't know, man. Like,
real quick, Cubes, I know you gotta go.
Because we're
I do. Sorry, Karen. I do want to hear what you guys say. Cubes, you gotta go.
Yep.
Good evening. Good night. Thank you for popping up this evening.
Thank you. Yeah, people can find me on Jacob's pop-ups. I try to pop up whenever he pops up. So
that's music to my ears.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta show support for this amazing channel that everybody should subscribe to and follow and listen to.
Away from 300. Come on.
Yeah. So
no phonies though. No sock accounts. I need real bodies. I need breathing objects.
And Jacob and Mike, some of the most awesome and handsomest American Spurs fans on the planet. So everybody support.
Write it down.
But I will talk to y'all later. Bye, Kyrian. Nice to meet you, Jesse. Yeah, I'll talk to y'all. Bye later.
See you. Have a good night. And then there were 4. Actually, take Colin and put Colin in the back. I mean, it's nice. It has my logo, so like maybe I just keep him there. Fuck it. Kieran, you were gonna say something.
Yeah, I did want to say that's sad. If the valuation of Manchester United is around 4 billion, and then were you saying with the debt and everything included, the real valuation is probably closer to 2? Is that what you were saying, or did I mishear you, Jesse?
No, I'm talking about the stock market. It's not going to be the value, and it's definitely not the sell value. It's just, unfortunately, like I don't want to fucking harp on about United. That's not my point. My point is they're running this club into the ground. So when people ask me, Anthony, for 100 million euros, how could you do that? Do it. Like honestly, I'm gonna get like honestly, you put Seagulls, do it. Like, pay the 100 million because you're going to run the club into the ground either way. And so this is just one of those things that I think
run it.
Yeah, I just think we need to get over get it over with. I don't think that there's no sentiment here in football. And if you like look at it, they don't have any sentiment with us. You guys have had your own struggles, like the Levy and what's his face?
Steve Hitchen.
Yeah,
or the owner, Joe Lewis.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Lewis is like a non-entity, right? Like
he's just in a yacht off the Caribbean, just posted up like, "Bring me my money."
Yeah, but to be fair,
like Jabba the Hutt.
And this is one of the reasons I've come off the hardcore Levy out train a little bit. Not that I'm, that I'm pro Levy or anything, but if you just look at what's going on with some of the other clubs, I mean, obviously before Newcastle was purchased, they had the whole place, what's his name? The guy who
what's the name?
Fucking Mike. Anyway, the Newcastle owner, and then obviously now we're seeing everything that's been happening with United, and it just kind of puts it in perspective. Like, we get pissed because our ownership doesn't invest into Mike Ashley. Thank you, Dave Hotspur. Mike Ashley was the Newcastle owner.
Hey, Dave Hotspur in the house.
Big up, Dave Hotspur. Thank you for the answer there. And you look at what's happening with Man U, where the Glazers are just milking the club for everything it's worth, just pulling tons of money out of it, leveraging tons of debt against it, just absolutely running into the ground, investing nothing, especially nothing off the pitch, and then doing deals in the transfer window, many of which make absolutely no sense. Either monetarily or for the players themselves. In Tottenham, what we've had over the last 20 years, an ownership that invests nothing, yes, but does and has greatly increased the revenue of the club over the years, has steadily and successfully made the club a bigger brand worldwide, more successful, bring in much more revenue. Now we have a state-of-the-art stadium that is one of the best in the world, if not, just in the Premier League. It's an attraction for all sorts of things other than football, and some people don't like that as much, and I get that. But it's also a reality. If we want to be a top 4 team, if we want to compete in the Champions League, all this, we need to have a stadium worthy of that. And 30,000 capacity White Hart Lane, as much as we loved it and it had so much character, it wasn't going to be that stadium. It had to be improved.
Mm-hmm.
And what we've got is now something incredible. And yes, we have suffered under the horrible transfer policy at this club, but at least for the most part, it hasn't been transfer policy that has put the club in a seriously poor financial position that then threatens any ability for us to turn it around. Despite all the terrible transfer decisions, none of them have broken the bank so badly that we haven't been able to fix it. I mean, we do have Tanguy and Domblay still on the payroll, and we're going to have to figure that one out. But that's the only one, really, that was a big spend that really just busted.
No, but you're right. But you're right, because you spend This is the conversation I have with Liverpool fans all the time, and I just say, hey, look, at least your club has been spending in the right areas. Whether it's infrastructure is incredibly important. If you want to have a net spend of whatever, I don't care. The Nunez signing was interesting, but it's just invest in the right areas. United, I'm not going to go into, because this is a 3-hour debate. This isn't something you can go over very quickly. So I don't think we should do it here.
Well, I enjoy listening. I tell people I'm a good listener. I like listening to all things, especially in the world of football. I enjoy learning. You both have been talking about things beyond my comprehension, so thank you both for educating me on some things. And quite frankly, when it comes to like numbers and finances, etc., I kind of get lost in the sauce.
I'm by no means an expert. It's just what I understand from what I've read, and I would just encourage anybody, like if you have the time, if you're interested, and if you're willing to spend a little bit of money on it. It's not very expensive, and they have deals running all the time that are super cheap. But the Athletic,
speaking of deals running
is the
super
standard
cheap,
of football journalism. So you guys should definitely.
if you want to subscribe to someone that's not the standard of football journalism, I put in the chat a link to the Patreon. I've had a little thing going. We're right here at 2.5 hours. I'm not going too much longer here, boys, but I appreciate y'all for popping up with me, whether you've been in the chat, whether you've been in the panel. Big ups yourself, and thank you for being here. But again, if you want to become a member, official supporter, we got different tiers. We've got the Soggy Undies Club. There's one member in there, Alan Sibley, and then we got a 10-inch club as well. We even got a $1 Lovers Lane group. So if you want to be a supporter that way, even if it's just $1, that's cool too. If you don't got any money like me, you can always just hit that like and hit that subscribe. We're 3 subs away from 300. I was really hoping to hit 300 during the stream, and then I was going to share that Gerard Butler story, but nonetheless, I shared the Gerard Butler story way too early, and we did not hit 300 during this stream. Now, unless in the next 10-15 minutes somebody tells their mother and their brother and they all subscribe, because I always tell people, tell your mother, tell your brother. They want to watch this show. So even if you're not a footy fan, there's still something in here for you. You can come in here and change the subject on us if you want. I don't really give a shit. This is Pop Up with Jacob. We have a little fun here. A little randomness. I didn't really have too much more I wanted to talk about. Kieran.
Would you mind if I asked a question?
I do not mind.
How far... I'll start with Jesse, because it would be interesting to get an outside perspective. But I'll ask you too, Jacob. How far do you think Spurs can get in the Champions League this season? Like, what do you think our ceiling is?
Ceiling's hard to tell. It's round of 16. It has to be. Not ceiling. I'll go with quarterfinals, because I think you're going to see some surprising fixtures. If you don't make it through your group, that's a nightmare in first or second. If you don't, it's an absolute howler.
Yeah. No, we'll never hear the end of it from every fucker around everywhere.
And we deserve it. We deserve it for
we
that.
Would deserve it, and I'd have to eat that, though. Because you know me, Kieran, I'm pretty positive. I like to twist things into a manner in which they make me feel better about it. So,
no twist in that.
No, there's no fucking twist in that. You can't roll that up at all.
Yeah, not in that group. That is. If I got them the Europa League, I'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, good. Like we're good. Forget about our previous result. I'm just saying. And then I expect you guys to make big quarters, because I'll be honest, you guys get first in that group. I've seen the other groups, and the quality is not low. It's not like it's low. It's just the know-how in those teams that are coming out of that group stage. I think Tottenham has more than enough with Conte. I know it's not his forte, whatever. People overemphasize that. I don't really care about that. He still sets up good teams. I don't buy into all that. And you guys have good players. I think you guys can do it. If you guys get first in your group, you guys are making it to the quarters, and then that's where you guys. I mean, that's where everything starts, isn't it? So, yeah.
And what do you think, Jacob? How far can Spurs go?
I'm asking the poll as well because I closed the other poll earlier in the stream. Someone actually did say the game's not going to happen. There was one vote for that. That was fun. But also, there was 27 votes and only 22 likes. There's 5 of y'all watching and voting and not hitting the thumbs up, tickling the like, caressing the like, if you will. So I'm a little disappointed in the 5 of y'all's. But the other 22s of yous that done like this video, I'm real proud of you. But go ahead, hit the answers in that poll. We got some rolling in. 6 votes so far. 67% say quarterfinals. And then tied at 17% is round of 16 or final and or semi. If we make it to final and or semi, I will not be semi. I will be full. Full. What was the word of the night? Damn it, I already forgot.
Fully elongated?
Fully elongated is what I will become if we make it that far. Me personally.
So dumb, by the way. I love it, but it's so dumb.
What? The word of the night?
Dude, I had like 3 ways I could have explained that. Harry Potter's wand extending towards the Chelsea field.
Elongating, yeah.
I just refused to do it. I was just like, no, screw you guys. I'm not going to do it. You have to pay $5 on Patreon. Patreon, what's your Patreon? Patreon /
United Spurs of America. Yes, sir.
Go get
that. Yeah. Wait, what'd you say?
Oh, that I was just saying I wouldn't elongate your bosses.
Oh, well, thank you for everyone who's elongated the Patreon list or patron list, whatever you want to call it. Ani, what up? Says, what's up, Jacob?
We absolutely killed it. I killed the stream, but Annie, thank you for showing up.
Dave Hotspur says quarterfinals. Scott says won't get past quarterfinal.
Honestly, what I figured is like the round of 16 quarterfinals, kind of where we tap out. Because we're going to start running into the bigger boys there. Not your Lisbon, Frankfurts, and your Marseilles. All due respect given. When you look at some of these other big boys in the competition, I'm just glad we're not in like Barcelona's group. I'm just glad we're not in.
Oh, come on. Barcelona are trash. Barcelona are trash now.
Yeah, but
they're not the same team.
I'm not sure about that. I'm actually not sure about that.
We weren't even at peak Pochettino Tottenham, and we waltzed into the new camp when Barcelona were still good and had Messi and Xavi and everybody and beat them at the new camp. And that wasn't even prime Poch Spurs. Honestly, Barcelona now, I'm not afraid of. Not at all. Not even a little bit. And La Liga is soft too. And here's my thing. I think Spurs can get to a semi-final, if not the final. And the reason why is because, one, the quality of the Premier League now has so far, like top to bottom, 1 through 20, has so far exceeded, I think, the quality of the rest of the major leagues in Europe, from top to bottom. I think the mid-table and bottom-tier teams in the rest of Europe are very poor, and right now, and a huge reason is because of COVID and the financial mess left after COVID. All these clubs are broke. They're not buying players. They can't. A lot of these teams aren't that strong, and these are the teams that the quote-unquote big boys are playing day in, day out. I mean, there's certain teams you have to respect, straight up. Real Madrid, you have to respect them. PSG, just because of the names on the roster, you have to respect them. Bayern Munich, heritage, everything, you have to respect them. But other than those
And
big
apparently
three,
the thing that kept Liverpool afloat for so long, they also got that guy too.
you know, aside from those big three teams, the rest of the clubs in the Champions League, no, I think Spurs could beat any of those clubs on their day, Barcelona included. We know we can beat Manchester City. We haven't beaten Liverpool yet over the last few years. But if we're going to do it, now would be the time because they look absolutely awful. I mean, they're in complete crisis. So
Rob Patterson says they should be
concerned,
respecting us.
We do.
I look at Tottenham, and I look at Tottenham not only just Antonio Conte's Tottenham as we've seen them in the Premier League, but I look at Tottenham as a club in Europe. We have an extremely high UEFA coefficient despite only ever winning a UEFA Cup. And the reason is because every time Spurs get into Europe, they play above their level. They step it up.
It's not. That's how that works. It's because you guys are always in Europe.
We have our points record in Europe is actually very good for the considering the quality of these Spurs teams.
Wait. Can I want to correct that. It's first off, what I said is true. You guys have a good coefficient because you guys are always in Europe. That is true. Because you guys are either in the Europa or you guys are in Champions League. But what I will say, I'm not taking the piss. I'm not getting the piss. Well, I'm not taking the piss out of Tottenham. That wasn't my point. My point is Liverpool was, I think, 17th last season in the UEFA coefficient, even though they had been runners-up twice and won it once, but they were still 17th. Like it's just the UEFA coefficient is just so much stuff. By the way, I was the one who said it. I think bottom line, I think you guys make it to the quarterfinals, and I think you guys can definitely push on. It's on Conte. I think we can all agree it's on Conte, right? How seriously does he want to take this competition? He's smart enough. And by the way, people call him a league manager. He has all the makings of an amazing cup manager.
Yeah.
Does he not?
His
Jacob,
style of football lends to it more.
Jacob, I want to hear your opinion because you haven't lent your opinion on this. I think he is actually. He has all the means to be an amazing cup manager. So I just don't. Yeah, it's weird.
I think that at this juncture in his career, the one monkey on his back is Champions League. He hasn't won it. He wins leagues. That's what he's known for. So I think that when I take a step back and I look at, okay, what's the monkey on Tottenham's back? Trophies. What's the monkey on his back? Champions League. He's admitted as much as we need three more windows before we can compete with the big boys for the league. So I don't know that he's completely sold on the fact that we can win the league. I think he's definitely going to push hard to make sure we get top 4 again, because that's what Levy and the board want, for that extra cash so they can go to Monaco or wherever the fuck they spend all that money.
Virgin Islands.
Yeah, Virgin Islands, Levy's or Joe Lewis's yacht. Invite me, motherfuckers. I'll have a good ass time with y'all. I'll also sign Adama Traore. We'll sign him if I go to fucking Caribbean. You can bet that. What? Sorry, I started talking about Adama Traore. I lose my train of thought when I think about that hunk of man.
Champions League.
We're all trying to climb the table in some way.
Yeah. No, when I think about just Conte and his overall, like, what he might want, like, I think he's going to want some kind of trophy, whether that be FA or Champions League. It remains to be seen. I think he's definitely going to make sure we get top 4 again. I think that is at this point for me, anything less than top 4 would be a disappointment, because it's a step back, and I feel like our squad has improved on what we were last season, and we barely squeaked a top 4 finish, but we got a top 4 finish nonetheless. So we've got it in the locker. We've got better players in now, some depth, very minimal depth. I want to see some signings in January, because, like I said, if we don't start getting busy in these 3 windows that Conte alluded to, he's either going to leave or we're just not going to have the success we want to see. And I think he would like to win a Champions League. I I think he'd like to get that on his resume, as well as winning the Premier League. Like I'm of the mindset, I can't imagine a reality in where Antonio Conte is not my manager. So when I think about him, I think about at least give me 5 more years, but he wants at least 3 more windows. That at least gets us past next season, the end of next season. So I think that if he can stay that long, we can definitely win a trophy and begin a battle. If we truly back him and just they close their eyes and just write, they let Antonio Conte write the number for him. He holds like this. He holds their hand like this, and then they write the number, and they sign the players, all the players that Antonio Conte wants, and then he goes, "Thank you, Daniel." And then we all live happily ever after. And then we win Champions League. We win the quad. We win it all, baby.
You're the one club. You're the one club where, like, United, they do that. Ten Hag came up. He was like, I need 100 million euros. And he, like, did it, the whole thing. And they were like 1 0 0 0, comma 0 dot 0 0. And they like you guys are that club where you guys just like they scribble over like no we can't sign him for 100,000, bro. Like
we're the guys that lose out on bids because we don't want to spend an extra 5 mil.
They move the commas. Levy's like, I like the look of this number better, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. And the manager's like, without his contacts in or his glasses, is like, cool. All right, I'm gonna go ship this. Yeah, no, I honestly, Tottenham will be fine, boys. I'm telling you.
If we trust Antonio Conte and we back him, if we do not and he walks, we are gonna be fucked like we were when Nuno was our manager, and he was gonna make us proud, and he promises that he's gonna make us proud, and he got that Manager of the Month award, and then no shots on target.
By the way, I'm so sorry. Nuno. No, we're not going to go back that far.
No, that's a terrible time.
It's fine. We earned it. You can roast us for that one. It's
not even worth roasting. It was like Nuno was dead at Wolves for whatever reason, and like you guys brought him in, and it was just like it was one of those things where it was a what do you call it? It was a prearranged marriage, and it was just like, I don't really like you. I don't really like you.
What's up, Vignesh? Leicester bottom of the league in January. We should sign Madison. Big up, Vignesh. New name in the comments. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe. We're on the road to 300, baby. And I don't think you were here when I shared the Gerard Butler story. So if I get 1 sub in the next 30 seconds, I'll share the Gerard Butler story again, Kieran. I know you want to hear it.
Hey, boys, come on. Let's make it happen.
Were you
close? Come on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Were you here, Jesse, for the Gerard Butler story?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, well. We're going to want to get a sub here and soon, or else you'll have to rewind the video and dig it out there.
We're going to need a playback. I don't like playbacks, people. So I think if whoever's in the chat is going to need a sub. So
yeah, one more sub.
I just gotta hit up my homie in the comments, Scott M. here. Lose to Mora, lose to Zagreb, quality European performances. Okay, come on, Scott. We beat Barcelona with Messi, with Xavi, like good Barcelona at the Nou Camp. We beat Real Madrid. We beat Manchester City. I mean, we beat Dortmund at Signal Iduna. Like, we've had some massive European nights at Ajax away. And also, you talk about our crap players. We made it to the Champions League final with Musa Sissoko and Harry Winks in midfield.
Yeah, we did.
With Ben Davis playing left back. I mean, come on, dude. With Harry Kane injured for half the Champions League campaign. Lucas Moura was our striker. Lucas Moura and Fernando Llorente were playing striker. I mean, if we can make it to a champion, and I know that run was a magical run, 1 in a million, whatever you want to say, can't replicate it. If we could do it then, we can do it now, because I don't think this European field is even as tough as it was that season in 2019. So,
honestly, if people in the chat cannot subscribe,
we didn't get one, so the Gerard Butler story is going to be buried in the stream.
This isn't Poch's team, but the thing about Poch's team is Poch's team, for the most part, a lot of times under Poch, that team would let in a lot of goals. There were a lot of times when we let in a lot of goals. We got in a lot of games in that run, 3-3, 4-3 games. Conte's team is solid. He's not going to let up goals like that. It's going to be hard for even the top European teams to score a lot on Tottenham. I mean, this team is solid.
Yeah, it's a good team. It's a good team. That's why I try to take the piss out of Tottenham. You guys have looked ass, in my opinion, attacking wise. But the fact is, I can appreciate, because I've seen. I mean, dude, I think we've all watched about 2 decades of football, and you guys look hard to beat, which is the first step. And then you guys also have probably one of the most lethal front threes in world football. And then you look at Kulusevski, and this is where people got lost on it earlier. I say Son, you drop Son, you bring in Richarlison, you have Kulusevski, you have Kane, who's always going to be a mainstay. That is 5 players who are dangerous, who are unpredictable, who are I don't know, man. Like, you gotta question other people, because I can't answer like why people doubt these players. I honestly can't, because
I think it's just our history.
I played football, and I played as a progressive 8-10, and it's fucking impossible to play against good midfielders, good 10s, and especially good strikers who will pull off you and then they're pulling you into midfield. Next thing you know, there's a ball over the top, and you have no fucking clue how it's played. And guess who played it? It was Kane. And you're like, what? How did this even happen to me? And you have Son run behind, and I was taking the piss out of Son. Well, it wasn't actually like, what was her name? She's very
C-cubed.
Cube. She was kind about it, but
yo.
It is just.
I just refreshed, and it says I have 300 subs, bro. I don't know if it's fucking with me. Hey. I don't know if it's fucking with me, but we might have officially hit 300, which that means I'm gonna share my Gerard Butler story, if you don't mind, Jesse.
I'm taking 1 minute. I'm gonna miss it, but boys, this is a good time for me to go to the bathroom.
Oh, man, 300 subs, big up, get in. That is right. I know I have Scott M's his comment. James Joris, let's go, 300. All right, so Gerard Butler, this man. Oh, we have the resurgence. Hang on, he's getting an intro. But it is the resurgence of the one and only. Let's give time for Jesse to come back, and then I'll share that Gerard Butler story. Colin. Oh, no. Hey.
Hey, what's up? It's the rise of the Phoenix from the ashes.
He's risen. He has risen once again to join us as we wrapped up here. Buddy, we had 300 subs like a matter of moments ago. So that's a big up.
I feel a little bit like I helped.
You did. You definitely. You help in every manner, my friend.
Thank you, dude. You're the best.
You bring those positive helping vibes.
Like a phoenix from the ashes, Colin has risen.
That's beautiful.
It sounded like Creed.
Mixed with South Park, mixed with
soft porn. Softcore rock is kind of my shit. It's kind of where my voice range is at, like, yeah. You know,
Thank you, Arl.
and that's it. That's it. No higher, no lower, nowhere I can't go. Big ups to everyone who subscribed. I feel like it was a little bit of a wacky stream to get to 300, but nonetheless, we have gotten in. We are here. Colin returned from the darkness, so that was a surprise. I seen some activity down below, and I was like, "Oh, has our man woken up?"
I've never, sleep.
Just took a long blink.
Yeah, a really long one.
Yeah.
Isn't that what everything is? Just a blank. Just depending.
We were talking earlier about how time is a man-made construct. So that's kind of where I feel it is. There's a poll I put up, Colin, while you were sleeping, or excuse me, while you were making your list and checking it twice, going to find out who's naughty or nice. It was a question that Jesse posed, which was how far can we get in the UCL? I put the poll up. We have 8 votes, so 4 people say quarterfinals is how far we can get. 2 people say round of 16, and 2 people say final and or semi. Where do you land?
I mean, dare to do, baby. Dare to dream.
To dare is to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Colin.
Yeah, so I think I'll
We
go with
can
that
do
final
it,
option.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can, dude. Yeah, we can.
Honestly, I don't know why, but I've just ever since the draw, I've just had this feeling that Spurs can get really far in this competition this season. And I just look at the field in Europe, and I'm just not impressed.
I feel like next season was where I would put more. If I had to put money on this season or next season, I would say next, because that'd be 2 more windows with Antonio Conte. And then I think there's things that Scott has pointed out that I do agree with. The worry about Eric Dyer, the worry about Emerson, the worry about some of these guys that I'm a little worried about, quite frankly. That when I look at like a Champions League starting 11, one that can win the whole damn thing, all respect due to Emerson, but I just don't know. I don't know. Speaking of Emerson, there's actually something I forgot about bringing up that I wanted to bring up, but I wanted everyone to put some respect on this man because I'm starting a movement. Respect my dog, my boy, Emmy Roy. Hang on one second. I'm about to share something with y'all, and you're gonna have to put some respect on my man at the end of this. Hang on. Here we go. Respect my man Emerson. Respect my man Emerson.
Damn, these footballers, man. These footballers and their girlfriends and wives.
Respect my man Emerson is all I'm going to say.
Okay, yeah, all right. All right, bud. Hey,
respect.
Real quick, Jiggy, you're going to hate me, but I got to be at work in not a couple hours, but like 6 hours.
No worries, man. I'm actually going to end this stream. We're about to hit 3 hours. So I do want to end the stream.
All right. Well, yeah. I don't want to be lame. I don't want to make you quit early. So I'm just going to, before I run out, just say that big up to everybody. Dude, since I was gone, there's been 255 comments. Like that engagement, that's nuts. Thanks crazy. Everybody for watching and commenting and being a part of everything. Love you guys. Thank you for supporting United Spurs of America.
Yeah, man. And, 300. We hit 300. This is Sparta.
Yeah, man. This is United Spurs of America.
This is United Spurs of America.
It doesn't flow super well.
It doesn't. We'll work on it. We'll figure something out, buddy.
Thanks for having me on.
Big up yourself. Last thing I'm gonna say to you is respect Emerson.
Oh, I do.
At the end of the day, respect this man, Emerson.
All right, let everybody.
Later, man.
Peace, Colin.